Anyways, I'm podcasting
Just
now.
telling to fly back.
Yeah.
Clocking into my shift at the podcast mines.
Getting your private plane, idiot.
Hours 1 to potentially 8 of a shift.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think Ethan may die if we do an 8-hour episode. He's a sleepy soldier.
He is a sleepy soldier. He's one of our strongest, but he's definitely one of our sleepiest.
I'm also a sleepy soldier, but Ethan's much worse.
You want to see how sleepy I am? And Connor may or may not do this. Please flash up my new profile picture.
I was gonna say the new profile picture is a perfect example of Ethan's sleepy measures.
Yeah.
Is it crouton or is it the other one?
It's crouton, isn't it?
Caesar.
People assemble.
Is it crouton or is it Caesar?
This orange beautiful boy who's asleep on my bed right now. Mm-hmm. His name's Simon.
No, his name's Crouton.
Any and all information to the contrary are lies against the state.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Ethan, but we're transphobic, so we're not going to respect his new name.
Yeah, I'm dead naming your cat.
You sure as fuck are, dude. Holy moly.
Oh my god, I had the most wild sorry, real quickly. I was doing some training for work, and of course my legal name is different than my preferred name. My preferred name is my middle name if I haven't said it on the podcast before. But
your birth name is Chad.
My birth name is Chad. Let's say it's Chad. Okay. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter. But I came in and they were like, like I showed up to the training a little bit late, and I was just like, hey, I'm here. My name is Ray. And they're like, oh, I don't see you. And I was like, oh, it might be Chad Richardson instead. And they're like, oh, yeah, I see you. We also have another Chad Richardson in the building for this branch. And I'm like, cool, I've never heard of them before. Awesome. Anyways, I use Ray. I don't use my first name. I use my middle name just because it's easier. And they're like, all right, Chad. And I was like, okay, cool. And so through the whole training process, like, we had some partner stuff to do, and we introduced each other to like our partners, and their person was like, hi, I'm so and so. I'm like, hi, I'm Ray. And of course, like, I'm the youngest in this pool of people. Yeah, she was like, fucking liar. And then the person who was training, like, was borrowing me to do a bunch of examples because I work with older folks as well. So we had to do like just kind of like practice like how to get out of situations, like when someone's grabbing you or whatever, right? And they're like, all right, Chad, come up here. And like, all right, Chad, come up here for this one. Chad, come up here, whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay. And multiple times, like, through the breaks, and then at the end of the whole thing, too, she was like, yeah, there's another one in the building. We thought that actually they were supposed to be here, not you. And I was like, oh, wild, because I was marked absent. I had to be like, no, I'm from the other branch. I'm not from this branch. And she still, for some reason, just couldn't clock in that the words, I use Ray, not Chad, for no specific reason of, like, anything. Just, hey, I use Ray. It's my middle name. Still like, oh, Chad. I'm like, no, it's not. That's not my name. That's not what I use. So it was a very weird experience. I was telling one of my friends this, and she's like, how embarrassing. Can she not listen? Like,
I like how seamlessly you picked up Chad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
if I'm like, this is very brave of you to reveal your dead name, Chad, on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, might as well. It's going to be out there in the world eventually, so might as well do it now.
It already is, Ray. It's in the video we recorded years ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Yeah, if you want to see my dead name, you can find it way back there. So, not that Connor should have. Connor just outed me like that, I guess, or whatever.
I'll cut
so
that part.
fucking. Oh, I don't care. Not really care.
That was before you went by Ray.
That is true.
I went by aggressively
when they were Chad.
Yeah, when they were
yeah,
Chad.
You don't use the name. Yeah, when I was Chad. I've only been using Ray for the last 5 years, I think. So
yeah, but we filmed it years ago.
Yes. Oh, I know. We filmed it. We filmed it like almost just before I changed my name. Yeah. Because my hair was red because I dyed it after I shaved my head. So that was like 2020 something around there. I think it was in the summer.
It was 2020.
It was 2020 for sure.
No, it was the winter.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking cold out when we were trying to smash that rock.
Yeah. Yeah. Smash that rock.
Smash.
I spent my childhood smashing rocks and punching Goombas and whatever.
I spent my childhood smashing Goombas.
Rocks.
No, Koopas. He says Koopas.
Koopas, yeah.
He says Koopas, yeah. He says Koopas,
Me, Chris
yeah.
Pratt. I
That's
cheated
a-
on my wife, I think.
whoa.
Did he do that? I don't know if he did that.
He divorced his wife and married another woman
Oh,
like
okay,
shortly
that's
after.
not cheating.
I don't think he cheated.
That's-
I'll look into
on
that.
like,
If he cheated, I'll
fine.
cut that because that's slander.
Whatever.
I guess so. Yeah.
It's an actual crime if I leave that in, so
Is it really?
No.
it's slander.
Slander is a
Well,
soft word for being
yeah.
a little bitch. For the government
That's
being
I
a little
wouldn't
bitch.
get sued
honestly.
for that, but I would cut it.
Disney would get your ass.
Yeah.
Because he
We,
is in
we
Disney
didn't,
too.
like... We probably didn't.
I don't know, honestly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
For
That's
what?
all you gotta say, right? Allegedly.
I gotta cut some stuff about Mark Wahlberg in my Transformers video.
Yeah. Oh no! I was saying you had to cut stuff from the last episode too, because you were like, "I can't. This is
Yeah, I
slander." I,
had
was
to
like,
cut a
"No,
lot- I had to cut a
slander the
lot of
boy,"
stuff
and you're
out of
like,
that
"I
episode.
can't."
If
No,
anybody
it was funny. I
listening
wish you could.
thinks there was
funny.
a couple of bits in the last video that were cut a little bit weird. I said some things I could not put in.
And we
Yeah,
were
listen,
encouraging
this
him
is
because he's a
fine.
coward. Yeah.
Also, in the last
Anyway-
episode, we
oh, okay.
said it hasn't been that long since we recorded, which was true when we recorded. And then
Uh-huh.
it took me forever to edit it because I was busy with
And then it
finals.
took me forever to
and
draw
it took you
it,
forever to
too.
finish the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So
It took
sorry
us
about
forever
that,
to get
everyone.
back together again.
Yeah.
So now that's
We'll get
true
this-
now.
Yeah.
And we are back. We're backsies.
Hopefully
We both.
it'll be a little
All of
more
us are out
regular.
of school except for Ethan. Ethan's potentially going back to school. Connor might potentially go back to school. But
Working on it.
we're in
Also working on it.
our summer scene, baby.
Working on it.
Summer
Yeah.
bods are ready
Summer, but oh,
to wear
Oh,
full-length
I'm-
pants constantly.
ugh, I've been wearing so many shorts, man. I have a sock
I don't
tan.
own shorts.
I know you don't. You don't have legs.
True.
Why would you wear shorts if you don't have legs?
True.
You know. Yeah. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to Don't Even Get Me Started. It's a podcast about presentations about stuff. I'm hosting this week's presentation or this month's presentation. My name is Ray, and of course, my other co-hosts Connor and Ethan are joining me as well.
Hello.
Hi.
And
How are
so,
you? Why am I saying how are you?
how are you? I'm good. How are you?
I imagine myself saying how are you to a listener.
Oh, how are you,
I'm
listener?
losing my mind.
Please
Sorry,
leave
my-
your answer in the comment section
Yeah,
below.
tell us how you're doing
I will
downstairs
not
in the
read it.
comments.
I'll
I'll
read
read it. I'll read it.
I
Ethan can't
read
read.
the comments. We don't
Yeah,
get very
Okay,
Ethan-
many
yeah,
comments.
no, it's
but-
this is why I'm going back
We
to
don't-
school, folks. I'm sorry to reveal this.
He actually can't read. Yeah. So speaking of school, my presentation is actually my thesis presentation that I did for my last year in university. I just graduated. Me and Connor both just graduated. So do a clap and a half for Connor and Ray in the house.
Yeah. Hell
I
Yeah.
have a worthless
Hell
degree.
yeah, dog. Me too.
Fuck off.
Connor's degree is in science and earth, and mine's in reading a book. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
I actually do have a
Spent
useful
5
degree. That was a joke.
5 to 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both did a big paper. I'm presenting mine today. Mine, surprisingly, without being a comparative literature like degree or whatever, I was able to talk about video games and films in my English class and do a little presentation about that. So mine is Resident Evil video games to film relationship through affect theory.
My thesis was
and I
on
would-
dinosaur bone beds and taphonomic biases. I will not be presenting that.
Because he thinks
That's
it's
super
boring
fair.
for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's
Which isn't
interesting. It would
true.
not make interesting content for this.
That's you know what that is? Cowardice.
We would be doing a lot of learning that day, but that is a
It's-
fun day.
We'd be here a long
love
time, and
We'd be here for 12
That is
hours.
why
Nobody
I
would
like
watch
kids
that.
Learning.
Who is that? You say nobody would, but there are people that totally would.
Well, then
I'm pretty
if I can
sure.
get the paper published, they can read that.
Okay, well then I'll make sure to share that with people who I think would be interested.
I have to get it published
Um,
first.
You have to.
Working on it.
I gotta talk to some people.
Yeah. I think.
Gotta make some calls.
Gotta make some-
Gotta call my guy.
I gotta make some. I
Business,
have some connections.
business. Yeah, he's got his connections. He's got his
got connections.
sources.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, that was an interruption.
That's
apologize.
okay. That's okay. I know we can't go 10 seconds without talking about yourself, Connor, but like
My
whatever.
brain is also kind of fried.
That's fair.
It's
you
like
worked
30.
it, right?
It's like 30 degrees out. I got home
Oh.
from work like.
And you don't wear shorts.
hour
Also,
ago.
Connor can't
Not even
sweat. He is an unsweatable man.
It's
This is
true.
true.
He's a
He's
like
the amount of times
a lot
Connor's
of
gotten heat
animals
stroke is
that
more
I
times than
can
I've.
definitely think of
reptile.
right now.
There was a lot of
Yeah,
conversation
like
going
one
on.
of those.
Yeah.
Maybe a bird. He needs a bird bath.
Yep.
Maybe
So,
give this guy a
Connor
bird bath stat.
Cannot. Yeah.
It's Resident Evil.
You know, yeah.
Resident
You know
Evil.
who
Yes.
else asks questions? Resident Evil.
This is the game about asking questions. You can go to the next slide, Connor. I whipped this slideshow up pretty quickly here, and by quickly I mean the day today. I had another presentation that I made for my actual thesis, but it's on PowerPoint, Microsoft, not PowerPoint, Google.
I mean,
So
we
I
could
had
have
to
just done it
transition
where you did the slides.
Yeah, I
God
don't think I
forbid
was
we go an
No,
episode without me
no,
with a
that-
little laser pointer.
That's too complicated. That's too
It's funny.
complicated.
It's funny because there's gonna be another rapid
No,
fire picture
no
thing.
way.
Actually, there won't be. I'm
Hell
gonna
no.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it long. Yeah. So, anyways, let's start off with Resident Evil. Are you two familiar with Resident Evil? Like what
I've
it
heard
is?
of this.
I know
It's
a
got
little
the,
bit about it.
Big vampire lady.
Yeah,
Who's
Lady
very
Dimitrescu.
nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's super nice. She's also a very straight lady.
There's also that horrifying baby thing in
Strizboard.
that game.
Yes,
Devastating
the
information.
infant. Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
I've never played any of the games. I know the first one has tank controls, and I refuse to play it.
First one is hard to
that's
play. I will
Yeah.
admit,
And I've
especially
never,
going
just
from this.
never played
yeah.
any of the other ones or seen the movies.
Them. Oh.
They got the
wow.
one with, you go to a village.
Yeah.
You got the
Yeah.
one
There's a few
where
you go to a
also
village to a few of
village,
them.
but it's not called village. It's called four.
Yes.
Some of them are in a
RE4.
house.
You go to the one where you go to.
Some of them are in a house.
You go to a
Yeah.
house. You go to a big house. You go
Yippers.
to a city.
I know Mr. X.
You get, and
Yeah,
I've
Mr. X
heard
is
there's
one of them.
monsters. Yeah.
There are some
like that
monsters.
guy.
Yeah. A
I
few
know
here and there.
Leon the Sex Kennedy. That's his full legal name.
Leon
Nothing
S.
bad
the
ever
Sex
happens to
Kennedy.
the
Yeah, that's true.
Kennedys.
We don't know what the S stands for. We all know
Nothing
it's sex,
bad
though.
Ever happens to the Kennedys.
It's funny because Leon Kennedy also protects the president, and then the president dies under his watch. So
Oh,
clearly,
God.
he does the he has a justice.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
No.
should have done a better job.
Is this a Clone High reference or something?
No, it's
Or is
John
this
F.
something
Kennedy,
else?
the real guy.
Oh, okay.
His head just did that, folks.
I had sex with
Anyways, Mrs.
Marilyn
Kennedy. Other than
Monroe.
that car ride, how was your day?
Risk. was going great until we got to the book dispensary.
Until
It's the public school
R.I.P.
depository.
Mr. Kennedy.
Not a dispensary. Dispensary is where you get the cannabis.
Oh yeah, it was
Hi,
the
while you have
depository,
sex with
wasn't
Marilyn
it?
Monroe.
No, it's where they
She was
dispense
like, I was
the
trying to
books.
go blaze it, and then they blazed my husband's
There's
head off.
weed in the books. That's why they shot the president.
That's insane. That is, you know what? That's more slander than.
They're all dead.
Well, they could sue us from the grave.
Also, it was the
Maybe.
CIA.
And
Oh,
the Teamsters and the mob
Yeah.
and the Cubans and the lone
He had a lot of
gunman.
enemies.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not like
37
Mr.
different
Kennedy.
people shot at him from 40
Mr.
angles,
Kennedy.
all at the same time.
And amazingly, they all missed. It was just he just decided to do that. He thought it'd be funny.
He's like, all right, guys, I'll take pity on you. Just let me.
Hold up, guys.
Lining up
Watch
on
this.
lining up the shot, and his head just did that. Anyway, speaking of John
Yeah.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy,
John
Uh-huh.
what is
Fortnite
Resident
Kennedy.
Evil?
Yeah, Resident. Well, you guys actually, it's very interesting. You guys described Resident Evil from the most recent game and remake games of like details and such. Obviously, Resident Evil Village is the most recent new game in the franchise, whereas Resident Evil 4 is the most recent game
Isn't-
that was made. It is a remake. But they got really popular after Resident Evil 7. Well, they've always been popular, but Resident Evil 7 kind of had a resurgence of the horror
Yeah,
game
'cause-
survival horror genre.
Wasn't 6 dog shit?
6, I love 6, but I'm also of very low opinions. But no, yeah, 6 was bad. 5 was okay, but 5 has some really good iconic moments that kind of saved it. Number 6 was definitely like kind of pushing it. And there was a lot of like spin-off games that people really liked, but it wasn't getting a lot of attention in terms of like remake ability, like, oh, let's adapt it to a newer system, or let's remake
Like
this game
4,
next. Yeah.
1 through 4, for nostalgia reasons, were peak to different people.
Yes. 5 and 6 are just if you came to the game late and you're like, well, gotta like some of the games, I
This
guess.
is what I got, I guess.
That's what I got.
If so I guess I'm happy.
To be fair, if you like Resident Evil 5 because of Sheva, which is one of the main characters you get to play as, that is a fair reason. Sheva is hot and really cool, and so I stand that. It has some actually compelling plot in number 5. Number 6 is... Leon is like, I have to get the president out of here. I gotta save Ada Wong. And Chris is like, my men are dead. And then this other guy's like, Chris, I'll help you. And then I'll die later. And then one of them's like, Ada is gonna be on her own. And the person's like, hey, I'm this girl from this other game. And here's the son of the bad guy from before. And the plots all intermingle because there's 4 different stories. And then they all disperse into their own thing. And you're in, like, Tokyo. And then you're in, like, the Arctic somewhere for a while. Like, it's a very weird mix of things. And the plots
Absolutely.
are...
Globetrotting.
You're globetrotting. You start in Europe, you end up in Tokyo. I think, actually, maybe Hong Kong. I can't remember. I think you start in different areas depending on who you are. But anyways, yeah, Resident Evil is... You can click once for me, Connor.
Shit,
there are video games...
My transformer I was holding.
Oh my god, Connor. The Resident Evil is a survival horror game series that released in March 22nd in Japan and April 1st here in North America in 1996 for the PlayStation. It is technically one of the first games to coin the survival horror genre. It is not the very first game in the survival horror genre, period, but it is the most popular one that we all know of. Therefore, it is known to be the one that coined the term. There are
That's
other...
I did not know that.
Sorry?
I did not know that this would be the first survival horror.
It's not the very first survival horror, but it's the first notable survival horror. So, Sweet Home and Alone in the Dark are similar, like, vibes. I don't think they're necessarily survival horror. There's this one called The Pit
who the fuck
as
has
well
heard
that
of those,
exists.
right? Like,
yeah, like, who fucking cares about those two? Whatever. I think I've heard of Sweet Home. Sweet Home is, I think I know which one that one's about. It's about, like, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to be wrong in case I am, but... So while I was doing my presentation, I was talking about this, and I also noted, because I got a book of essays on horror games for my birthday, and I was reading them, this was before my presentation, because my presentation was later on in the month, after my birthday, and I changed my presentation notes and stuff to be like, just mention that this is not the first survival horror game released, it's just one of the ones that coined the term. And I did, and this one guy who was very strange, just asking a bunch of weird questions to a bunch of us because there was multiple students doing presentations. And he's like, what about The Pit? Have you ever heard of The Pit? I don't think you've ever heard of The Pit because you clearly are too young or whatever. I'm like, I literally, and he's like, he's like, but that's not the very first game. And I was like, I didn't say it was the very first game. I said that it's one of the first games to coin it, not the first game, period. And I don't know what the fuck he was on. Just trying to be like, let's get this girl down
you
a
own
peg.
this idiot.
Yes.
With facts and logic.
Yeah. Wow, you're using your brain. So, anyways, that was my conversation with that guy. You can click one more time for me, Connor. So with this beginning of a beautiful series, there are a bunch of games as well. We discussed number 8, Village. There was games 1 to 8 in the main core series, with 1 to 4 being adapted into remakes later on. It was really funny because I think the Resident Evil 1 remake was made in 2001, I think, which is really soon for a remake, like 5 years after it was released. So that's kind of a jump, but I mean, like, hey, they knew that the game was going to be successful after that. And the Resident Evil 1 remake was actually really well done. I think the graphics are really good. It really helps encapsulate the original mechanics of the game while also having really good graphics, and makes it super scary because I was shitting my pants the whole time when I was playing it. There's also Zero, which is a prequel, technically during the same time as Resident Evil 1. There are some character overlaps from the first game and the Zero game that you see. There's Resident Evil Survivor, there's Code Veronica, which is also a really well-loved game that is in desperate need of a remake. Resident Evil Gaiden, Resident Evil Dead Aim, Outbreak, Outbreak File 2, Deadly Science, The Umbrella Chronicles, The Dark Side Chronicles, The Mercenaries, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, which I really want to play and haven't played yet, Operation Raccoon City, Umbrella Corps, and Resistance. Yes.
It is the best one.
Yep, number 1, number 2, all about shooting zombies on a casino on a boat. So there's all those games. A lot of them I think all of them are exclusive. Are all available across the world. I don't think you can just get them in Japan. There are some Japan exclusive games, but I think most of these you can access in America, so you should be fine. But the films are kind of a bit more confusing.
Being a pirate is over with me. I'm not singing this for any reason. Go ahead.
Just a good song.
Okay.
It's a good song.
It is a banger. The live action films, which I assume you guys meant when you haven't seen the movies. There is also 6 movies, very loosely based off the games. I say loosely because the story is somewhat similar, but it is not step-by-step adapted game to film.
These, I heard, were dog shit.
I genuinely really like them, but
My
they
dad
are...
likes them, but I've never seen them.
Yes, they're fun.
6?
How are there 6?
Surely some of them must have been good commercial successes for there to be 6 of them.
The first
They
one
made
was
money.
really well done. Yeah, the first one did really good. And I think the ones after that, because it was starring Mila Jovovich, who was like a sci-fi queen at the time, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys know who she is?
From these movies.
I'm lying.
She's
but
also
yes.
in
And a few other
Fifth
movies.
Element, I believe.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Movie
Yeah,
I
she's
have
the orange haired
seen.
girl.
Oh.
That's
the
Mila
Fifth
Jovovich,
Element.
man. Yes.
That's no, the Fifth Element's love. Well, I guess that is her. She's also in a
Yeah, it
movie.
is.
What the hell is that movie called? Ultraviolet, I think.
I think so.
I've seen her in something else too. Yeah, she's
She also
in,
made music too.
She's in a Monster
She's
Hunter remake movie. Apparently that was terrible.
That doesn't impress me.
Oh, that is her in Fifth Element. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that movie, I swear.
Yeah, I've seen it too. It's been a
I
while, but
haven't.
I...
She's in Hellboy? Oh, the
I haven't
remake.
seen
I
any-
never saw that movie.
I haven't seen any films
Ultraviolet, that's the movie I was thinking of.
except
Hell
the
yeah.
Minecraft movie.
Chicken Jockey.
So shut up.
I saw Ethan. I saw
I-
the Minecraft movie the day it came out with my siblings. Hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan saw it like a month later. I saw him right after. He looked like he'd come right out of the trenches of World War One. Ethan was shell-shocked after the
That does not
Minecraft
shock.
movie.
It looks like a really horrible movie.
No, it's a good movie. I'm a big fan.
When you guys are making plans for that, I was like,
really
I'm not
need to
coming.
see the unfinished CGI version. Someone's gotta have it.
I could not
like
see it a
some-
second time. I saw it the day it came out with my siblings.
I mean,
Couldn't do it a second
any
time.
film that gets the review, I could not see it a second time. Really, just like a Nintendo seal of quality, baby. Like that's good shit right there.
That's a good movie. Go
Yeah.
see it.
Ugh.
I like
Speaking
these.
of
never
good
gonna see it.
movies, Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil. There's 6 major films starting from 2002 to 2016, so it had a good 14-year lifeline, surprisingly. First one, Resident Evil Apocalypse, and then Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, and the final chapter. Then there was another live-action Resident Evil film called Welcome to Raccoon City. I
How
believe
many
his name is
raccoons
Johannes
are in that
Roberts.
movie?
Sorry?
Did you
How
say?
many, how many raccoons are in that movie?
I think 0.
Unwatchable.
Did you say?
There's dogs, though.
2016 for the 6th movie.
Yes, the first movie was 2002, and then it ended in... Final chapter was released in 2016.
The final chapter, and then they made
Harambe
a whole
commit
bunch more.
suicide by cop because of this movie, or
That was today.
Sorry?
Today's the anniversary.
Of what?
Harambe's
that's
death.
kind of why it was on the.
Oh! I thought you were talking about the fatality in the
the end
production
of, it
of
all.
Final Chapter. Never mind. Yes, Harambe did pass away in 2016. R.I.P. Harambe.
Timeline shift.
For the Final Chapter wouldn't have come out if it weren't for
personally-
Harambe.
The timeline shift was 9/11, but I mean, thinking it's Harambe is much funnier.
It is funny. It's a part of what it helped the timeline shift. It was like the 15-year
The
later
timeline shift was
timeline
Ronald
shift.
Reagan. The timeline shift was the dropping the atomic bombs. The timeline shift was fucking the Great Depression. The timeline shift was the fall of Roman Empire. The timeline shift was the evolution of multicellular organisms.
I
The
think you'll
timeline
find it
shift
was
was the birth
Harambe.
of the CJSiev
The
YouTube
timeline
channel.
shift was.
I think that started in
I don't know.
2016.
The
Yeah,
chemical soup.
When
That's
did
perfect. I think it was, yeah.
Was it? When did I
Wasn't it?
start
Because we were in
making
grade
videos?
9, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was grade 9, 2016. Harambe died.
Yep.
Then Britain voted to Brexit, and then Donald Trump got elected
2017.
the first time.
Mm.
What year? 2017.
Yeah. Oh,
Missed a
damn,
good
almost
year.
on the day. It's May 23rd is when I started it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So just
God
over
damn, I've been making videos for like
8
almost a decade.
years. Yeah, that's
Uh,
crazy.
My friend
for you,
asked me
dog.
today, instead of working, I was talking to my friend at work about Star Wars.
As you should.
It's fine,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
my boss. We're all going to her house on Monday.
Hell yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, we are.
yeah, we're gonna be dressed as cowboys.
I still need a hair clip, but I'll find one.
Better get on it.
I know.
But we were talking about Star Wars. She's never seen it, and it got brought up that like, what's the best order to watch Star Wars? The only one she's seen is Episode 9,
Oh Christ.
the worst one. Yeah.
And you pulled out a gun.
Yeah, I knew that before, but it came out, and she's
That one
like,
was
"Well, what
pretty
is
bad.
the best order to think about?" And I've been thinking about that ever since
you,
because I still don't know.
The CIA.
Then I
operative.
remembered I made a video on that like 5 years ago.
Why didn't you send it to her?
Because it's
Text
out
it
of
to
date
her.
now. Because
Oh, well.
the amount of Star Wars content has doubled since then. Yeah,
Those
I may
powers
remake
have
that
doubled
video.
since, sorry.
My rewatch Star Wars every 4 or 5 years itch is growing. I can feel
Yeah.
it like a storm on the
You
wind.
scratch that bit.
Have you remade that movie before?
I've never remade Star Wars before.
No, the fucking episode. I'm sorry. I'm
What?
clearly not thinking.
What do you mean?
Your rank video.
If,
No, I have not.
Star Wars rank.
I'm going
Okay.
to, and I'm going to do it.
Oh.
I might
Okay.
rewatch and do all the shows and movies together. Just throw everything in one video.
I don't know if you should
um,
compare movies to games.
I'll
though,
do
or,
it.
I'll
I'll do it by season.
It's very different.
I'll
you know,
bundle up a
the
season
format.
together
Mm.
and count
Hell
that
yeah.
as one. That would work. But yeah, and I felt very old earlier. Now I feel even older.
Such is
Speaking
the
of Star
way
Wars.
of the worm.
Resident Evil.
You know.
We're
Resident
losing.
Evil.
We're losing poor Ethan. We didn't have to
I'm-
record today, Ethan. Are you
No,
okay?
it's good. I'm keeping things on track. This is my duty as in the podcast. Is every once in a while, once we've kind of finished
Yeah,
the
I
tangent, is to
I
say,
appreciate it. I,
I
need
also
to.
appreciate it because Ray and I
Anyway,
get
speaking of
distracted too easily.
tangents,
I'm just hey
Resident
bitch. I'm just
Evil.
saying shit, and then you just yes and me
Look, I
for no
especially
reason.
get really distracted.
Yes, you do.
especially when I'm
But
tired.
that's okay. That's okay. It's a very short slideshow, but again, we can ramble pretty easily. We already had half an hour, so we're fine. We're not gonna go under 20 minutes, so we're easy peasy. The most recent one,
on the
Welcome to Raccoon
second
City,
slide.
was released in 2021. Johannes Roberts, I believe, is the director's name. And then there are 4 animated films: Degeneration, Damnation, Vendetta, and Death Island. Death Island was actually released pretty recently, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And then there's also 2 TV series: Infinite Darkness, which is the same animation style as Degeneration, Damnation, and so on and so on. And the Resident Evil, it's just called, which is, I believe, a Netflix original one. I haven't seen it. It's supposed to be like I think it's a loose adaptation where you follow one of the villain's children. Like, one of the villain's, like, children, 1 or 2 kids or whatever, because they're, like, they're Weskers or something.
Little Tommy Resident Evil.
Yeah, literally. Actually, I think it's a girl. But yeah, so this is kind of just the introduction. I would love to look at individual games and movies and shit, but we're just going to talk about my paper,
had no
which I
idea.
narrowed down. Sorry?
Nope, sorry, you keep going. I thought that was the end of your sentence.
No, it's okay. Which I narrowed down to the first, I believe, 2 original or 2 live-action Resident Evil films. Welcome to Raccoon City, the first 3 remake games, and then the first 3 original games. So, I'm not going to talk about each of those in depth, don't worry. I'm just going to talk about what I did in my paper a little bit here and there. So you can go on the next slide, if you don't mind.
I had no idea there were
Um,
TV shows. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there's a few. There's a lot more Japan exclusive stuff too. So there's also like a playwright. There's a board game. There's
We need an
I think
entire
there's
2-hour episode on the board game, Ray. Why
We
are we
do.
talking about this?
See, oh, if we could, okay. The thesis program at my school changed when I joined it, which sucked because before we could request funding. Can't do that anymore because my professor, who was my like supervisor for the thesis, was like, we can request funding and we could just play a board game for your thesis. And I was like, that sounds freaking great. I love that. But unfortunately, we didn't get to do that. And it's also a really big. That my paper, despite being just under 30 pages, was not big enough to include everything. Like I had to narrow down, and I still was like tight for time. But anyways, yeah. So why the games instead of the board game? I don't know, man. I like zombies. I like cool guns, ridiculous gore, and hot people. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to love these games. It's very ridiculous. It's known for their over-the-top antics, their silly humor, because it's also very goofy. I think the character design's really well done. A lot of them are very white, but that's honestly pretty understandable. I think most of it is meant to be like in... I think Jill is Japanese. I think the originals might have taken place in Japan, but in any case, I think they do a good job with the character designs. When they started dipping their toes into non-American and Japanese worlds, areas, it was starting to get like, is this a little bit kind of racist? We don't know, and it's still kind of up in the air. Resident Evil 5 takes place in a small village in Africa, and it's I don't know, it's an interesting one. It's not, I don't think it's really racist necessarily, but I'm also not one to speak on that because I'm not a part of that group. There's no disrespect to a specific race of people, but anyways, it was just a funky game. When I was first writing the script for this presentation, I wrote, right now I'm doing an honors thesis based on a select few games in this 2 separate live action film series regarding adaptation theory and affect theory. When it's done, I might do a presentation on it. Who knows? I have to do it anyways for a grade or whatever. Cut back to fucking a year later when I'm like, actually have done this paper and I got my grade for it. I got an A.
Very nice.
Thank you. So, yeah. I just kind of thought it was interesting to read that while I was looking back on my script. I was like, oh, I actually commented on my thesis thing. So we're not going to go into any specific game. We're just going to talk a little bit about the thesis here. So we can move on to the next slide.
Cut here, please.
Anyways, we're back.
Okay.
With,
Thought you were
no
ready.
time skip.
No time
I'm
skip.
recording now.
No time skip whatsoever.
Nope.
Seamless.
Yeah. So anyway, my thesis, my actual thesis is the
Thesis
complicated
is nuts.
relationship.
Shut up. Dude.
You had so many chances and you waited till now to do that?
I just thought of it.
Oh my god. I'm really happy I didn't say anything. I was just like, I could see Ethan about to say something, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till he says something.
Next time you say the word thesis, Connor, I'm gonna fucking get you with that. It's gonna be months from now, but I'll know.
They'll keep it stored
I'll
up.
be ready.
A secret weapon.
I'll be on top of it. Speaking of D's nuts, my thesis.
My thesis. It's focused on the complicated relationship Resident Evil's adaptations have on the affect of the player and viewer experience. That is a lot of words. I don't know if any of you guys are aware of what affect theory is.
I think you'll
Do you know
find
what
it's
that is?
effect.
Hold
No, it's
on, before
affect.
I was just about to say, just quick question,
it's
English
it's
major.
affect. Yes.
Can you explain the difference?
Yes. I can explain the difference. Affect. Okay, this isn't being used in the actual sense of effect and affect.
I'm still curious about that, but continue.
All right.
Yeah, that raised more questions than it answered.
So it's kind of a weird, because I think affect is a verb and effect is not. But
I never
affect here
learned
is
those.
being used as, okay. Well, they're both used as verbs, but the affect here is being used as a noun to basically describe emotional and like personal response. So it's like the emotional affect of something, not the emotional effect, which is kind of weird that it should be effect, not affect. But this is what the theory is called. I can't really say it should be this way, because it's not how it is, I guess. But it's a multidiscipline theory. So affective response can vary from a single person to a group of people, and it could be reacting to a certain stimuli, it could be reacting to a social movement, it could be reacting to an experience. It's variable. So here, this basically affects from horror from video games and films. So just like the personal experience you get when watching it. I'm using it to kind of...
I shit my pants.
Yeah, pretty much. That's part of affect theory. Yeah, is you shit your pants.
It is.
There's a lot more like...
I feel the fear.
My pants feel a little heavier today. It's more in the depth of like how you would respond to something, but like more on a psychological level, which even though this is an English paper,
I wouldn't be affected.
I said fuck you guys. Oh, really?
No.
Huh? I'm confused.
What do you so quiet?
I don't know, I'm just I'm yes-anding you.
Yes-anding you requires you to say something.
I did. I said, oh, really? Is that not enough?
No.
All right, fair enough. Right, fuck, this is why we're not an improv group. We are a podcaster. Okay, so
this is an
in my
improv
thesis...
group. Me and Connor don't have notes.
I guess we technically are. Yeah. So...
I'm just, before we move on, I just want to say I still don't understand it, and that is why I'm not an English major.
I'll explain it in a minute here. I'll have a few definitions.
Ray, I don't know what the difference between a noun, a verb, and an adjective is.
Okay, I at least
I'm
know
not
that.
kidding.
Are you being sarcastic,
no,
or are you
I'm
actually
not.
serious?
As a child, when they tried to teach it to me, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, this is stupid. I don't care.
That's stupid. That's not fucking dinosaurs.
I want to know about dinosaurs.
Noun.
I don't know. Well, dinosaur is a noun. It's a
noun
proper
is the name one. That's all I know.
Person, place, or thing, but that is
dinosaurs
a
would be
limited.
plural.
It's a limited chart. There's more than just person, place, or thing.
A
That is
limited
also
chart.
a noun. Well, like there's more than just people,
Connor is
places,
is a
and things that are a
person.
noun.
Edmonton is a
Noun.
person.
I am a noun.
Simon
You're
is a
correct.
thing.
You're also a noun. Connor is a noun. It's a proper noun.
You're
It's
a
a
proper
name.
Noun.
All right. Anyways,
That's too woke
so
to me.
in my thesis, I'm talking about affect theory, narrative and genre, established theory in video game mediums, my case study, and monsters characters in the world of Resident Evil. So these are just things I'm touching base on. I'll touch base on a little bit in this presentation. I won't go super in depth because we've already fucking gone over 40 minutes of chatting. So I'll try to make sure it's brief as possible. You can go to the next slide, Connor. So the titles that I chose to talk about, as I've explained earlier, the Paul W. S. Anderson and Johannes Roberts live action films, the original Resident Evil films, and then Welcome to Raccoon City.
Paul W. S.
For the
Anderson
game-
is the husband of Mila Jovovich.
That is correct.
Yeah, I knew that. That's a thing I know.
Mm-hmm. Good job,
Thank
Connor.
you.
Good start.
He's a real wife
You
guy.
didn't know
I'm
she was
gonna
in
make a
Fifth
movie. I'm gonna
Element for
put my
some
wife
fucking
in it.
reason, though.
He puts his wife in all his movies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I respect
Yeah.
that.
And she's like naked in most of them,
Yep.
which is honestly not.
That's
the thing.
awesome.
Yeah,
She's probably.
I think she's fine
you don't
with
kink
it.
shame.
No, I'm assuming it's on her own will as well.
For the
She
amount
is
of
a
money she
pretty-
makes, yeah.
She's not a pushover. Sorry, not a passover. She's not a pushover, so I assume she didn't want to do it. She probably would say no. Yeah. And then the games I look into specifically are the original 1 to 3 games, and the remake 1 to 3 games. Mostly 1 to 2 for the remakes, but I'll explain it later. Not really that important. I actually play the 2 titles that are on the screen as my case study. So my case study, I'm the case study. Basically, for my case study, I was like, well, I'm going to test my affect, record that onto like paper, or I recorded verbally and then did text to speech, or speech to text, and then had all that, and I analyzed that as my case study. So I played the first Resident Evil game. It is technically the remake game, but I use that to basically act as the originals, quote unquote, because the play style is very similar. And then Resident Evil 2, I played as the remake game stand-in because it's the modern play style, and it was made in the last. I think this one was published in 2018, so it's made in the last 8 years or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did. But you can go to the next slide now.
Wish I got to just play video games for school. I had to look at
endless
I did spreadsheets.
Yeah. Dude, it was awesome. I played video. Oh, it was so much fun. It was a good time.
Kids these days.
So
and
I'm
they
just
school.
gonna. Sorry.
Kids these days and they school.
And they school. Is this supposed to be a woke school?
Yep.
They is a pronoun, but you knew that already.
Pronouns are too woke. I don't believe in them. That's something that the left has made.
You just used 3
incepted.
pronouns in that last sentence.
I would never.
All right, Connor. So nouns are the things that you type into Scribblenauts to get items.
Never
And
played Scribblenauts
adjectives are
before in
the
my
words
life.
that you add. You adjectives are the
true. I think
words
I
that
have,
you
actually.
add to make the thing that you put in
You
different.
don't add words. You add numbers, idiot.
No, I type in gun and I get gun, and then I type in big gun and I get big gun. Big is the adjective, gun is the noun.
I don't believe you.
Gun's the thing.
This is
the
a
adjective
psyop.
has changed
Blasphemy.
the thing.
You're a CIA
Alright.
agent trying to incept English into my brain.
No, that's what you're doing with your Star Wars. I already sent this to you on Twitter. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that up because
pull that
Ray, you need context for this. This
Jamie,
is
pull that
insane.
up.
It was in our DMs, and I was as you do. You doom
Of
scroll
course.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
As is my wont, because I have nothing better to do most days at work, sitting around trying to pretend that I'm not doing nothing. It is what it is, you know.
That explains a lot.
Come on, load you stupid app. I can't speak much more. Messages. Come on, you piece of crap. So yeah, I'm scrolling, I'm doing my thing, chilling, and then I've come across not that. Wait, was it on?
You just sent it to me. Like you didn't. I don't think you put it in our chat. I think you just like publicly tweeted at me.
I did.
Really?
Yes. I forgot about that. I retweeted this. I forgot that I didn't send it to you. Oh no, now I have to go check my fucking...
Oh, you gotta use the pool
it's
now.
hard to find.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, what it was it was a discussing film news article talking about
All right.
how
Go on.
a website...
Yes.
Was it a website for a Lego Star Wars thing, Connor?
I don't know. Here, let me pull it up.
Oh, I got it. Yes.
Yeah, I found it.
Killing
It
you,
was a
killing you.
discussing film article. Discussing film, a news website. Oh my god, why is this so slow? Chrome, I hate you. Chrome is the worst.
Whoa.
I've already wasted like
That's true.
3 minutes setting up for this bit, and it's not even that good because it's all the punchline is just the CIA was running a Lego Star Wars forum site, or like using it to communicate with operatives.
I didn't read the
Oh.
full article. I didn't realize there was a full article attached to it until right now. I'm scrolling through it.
Yeah, so the headline of the tweet is the CIA has been revealed to have once secretly ran a Star Wars fan website and used it to communicate with overseas spies from techspot.com. So now I'm and then the quote tweet that I had sent to Connor was cool. So every time I come across a god-awful Star Wars take, I have reasonable grounds to label it as a CIA psyop, which is what I'm going to be doing to Connor every time he talks to me about Star Wars, even if it's not a bad take.
Battlefront 2
Even if I
Resurgence. Go play Battlefront
Psyop.
2.
Psyop. They're using your fucking, I don't know, processing power to
The Republic
run
needs
more
you.
AIs.
Also, apparently, according to this
Incredible.
article, this bizarre piece of intel comes courtesy of Ciro Santilli. That is the most glup shitto name I've ever seen.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's not a real name.
He's a hero of the rebellion.
That's definitely a fake name.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to cut a lot of my audio, Connor. I've been playing with the tape measure for this whole time.
It's fine.
You're
I've been
allowed to play with the tape measure.
transforming
He's not going
Optimus
to cut
Prime
it
back
because
and
he never
forth.
cuts
Thank
me
you.
playing with my Lego.
I do my best to cut out the little bits, but sometimes it's really hard.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like the entire time you guys
You
are
have a
talking,
tough
so I
job,
hopefully
and I
it'll be
believe
pretty
in you.
easy.
Yeah, because Ray wasn't listening because Ray hates what we have to say.
Well, I hate Star Wars, and I think it's a fair ground to have.
I like
yeah,
how
I think
this
you
isn't
just
even
need
like
to
an-
try again.
I'm not. No.
This
No.
this isn't even like an old site. Like this isn't even like a website that was made in the early internet, like in like the early 2000s, and it's
This
got
is
like
like 10 years
pretty
ago.
cool stuff on it. This is updated. Like it's got Force Unleashed 2. It's got Old Battlefront.
not really a
it's
recent
got Star
game,
Wars: The
man.
Clone Wars Republic Heroes for the Wii.
It has episode 3.
Yeah, but this is like
and
2010.
Battlefront 3 is
Like
like
2000
2006.
Fuck.
Huh.
It's got Clone Wars animated series. Okay.
2008. Yeah, it's past, probably around 2010.
That's less than 10 years. Sorry, no, 2018 for
That's
some reason.
more.
No,
That's
it's
more.
not.
That's
Was
more
in my
10 years,
brain, not
unfortunately.
2010.
2018
I don't know
is
why.
when nope, never mind. I take it back. I was gonna say that's when EA Battlefront 2 came out. That's not. That came out in 2017. Go play
Yeah.
Battlefront and Helldivers.
Oh.
We're losing Super
It's
Earth.
a psyop. It's a psyop.
Is anyone going to do a
Speaking
Super
of-
Earth presentation at some point?
No, I don't have that much to say about Helldivers. I'm really bad at it. It's a game I played
Yes.
on and off for like a month or two, or for like
Yeah.
a week or two, for every like 2 months. I like it, but not that much. I like Deep Rock more.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
That's fair.
speaking of CIA psyops, Resident
Yeah.
yeah.
Leon S. Kennedy. Leon Sexy Man Kennedy. I was just going to talk about some of the major characters, and I'm going to show you pictures from them in the films, and then the next slide I'll show some from the game. But first we're going to talk about Leon. You can click once for Connor.
Leon.
Leon! These are both
That's a really good
adapted.
impression, honestly.
Leon! Fun fact, the voice actress for Ashley Graham, which is the president's daughter in Resident Evil 4, is the same voice actress as Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob.
Is it really?
And
Hell yeah.
yes,
Huh.
in the original, that's the same voice actress. Different in the remake. The remake she's a lot less annoying, but yeah. This is Leon Kennedy. In the films, on the left is the Mila Jovovich films. On the right is Welcome to Raccoon City. I think I have like mixed feelings about both of them as an adapted character. I think the one on the right is a lot more true to Leon's like spirit as a rookie cop, because they kind of skip the whole rookie cop thing in the Anderson films and just goes like straight into Leon being in like Resident Evil 4 Leon, where he is seasoned and he is ready to get shit done, and he has a big old crush on Ada Wong, and we'll see who that is in a second.
We missed
And
out
then
on
on the
first day on the job
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse, Leon.
yeah, he's literally like, it's very like they kind of play him as a nepo baby in Welcome to Raccoon City, where he's like, yeah, well, my dad is a cop and he got me the job, and apparently when he was training he like shot a cop in the ass by accident, and so everyone's like, oh, he's like this
cool.
shitty cop, he's a nepo baby, and then
Leon
other
Kennedy
characters
says
are like,
ACAB.
yeah, everyone else is like, all right, well, you're kind of a chore for us right now, but we'll have to take you along or whatever. So they leave him alone in the police station in Welcome to Raccoon City, and he's like, I gotta get my shit figured out. And then instead of Leon helping Claire, which is kind of how the game goes, Claire helps Leon, because Claire is like, I am down in the dumps with the conspiracy theory shit. I know what's going on. And Leon's like, I woke up at like 9 p.m. for my night shift, and all I had for breakfast was beer, and everyone is hating on me, and I just got promoted when everyone else left, and then the police station got caught on fire. Yeah. So anyways, next picture. Click once
he
for me.
looks like Homelander if he got stung by a bee.
That's an interesting comparison. I don't know how to feel about that. Next we got Claire. Claire on the bottom there with the red jacket, the full red jacket, not the vest. That's Claire from Welcome to Raccoon City. She's a lot more badass, I think. Like, badass in the sense that she worked to how she got to where she was, which was being friends with conspiracy theorists. Super fun. On the top right, that's Claire in this the movie franchise. A lot of the women that play these characters. Oh, I forgot Jill. No! Oh, I forgot Jill. She's the most important one. I'm so sorry. That's okay. We'll see her in the next slide.
That's
A
true.
lot of the actresses that play these characters are like supermodels. They're like gorgeous, and their acting is fine. And it's like, the more beautiful the people, the worse the movie is gonna be, because most likely they're not actors. But the girl that plays Claire, like, I think she's embodies Claire decently well. I'm gonna send Connor a photo at the end of this slide to put in, because I forgot to talk about Jill, because Jill's very important, but I'll talk about her after Wesker. Anyways, you can click the next slide, or click the next one. We got Ada Wong next. So this is
you'll
game
find her
Ada
name
Wong.
is Ada Resident Evil.
It is Ada Resident Evil Wong. She is, I realize this is just the game pictures of her. I couldn't find the live action photos of her for some reason. But she, she pretty much looks like the one in the center there. They give her her butterfly dress, as like the dress in the game, in this movie that she's in. They're only in like select few movies, and they're not really in the same order as they are released in the games. So like Leon is in the 4th movie, whereas Leon comes in the 2nd game. Ada Wong, same thing, 4th movie, comes in the 2nd game. Jill, 3rd movie or 2nd movie, comes in the 1st game, so on and so forth. It's all very mixed up. The main character in the films are not any of these characters. It's Mila Jovovich's character, Alice. Alice is it's basically like it's a character made by Anderson. He was like, I'm gonna make Alice, she's gonna be our main character. The 1st movie has none of the original characters in it. It's just a standalone movie. You can go to the next slide. Actually, the actress for Ada Wong in Welcome to Resident Evil, Lily Gao, later got the role to be the voice actress for Ada Wong in the Resident Evil 4 remake game, which I thought was kind of interesting because a lot of people didn't like Lily Gao, but she's a phenomenal actress. She's a really good actress. She's a great voice actress. I like her voice for Ada. It suits her really well. People are just stupid and mean for no reason because, yeah.
True.
For God forbid a woman have hobbies, you know? So
God forbid women.
God forbid women. This is Chris.
He did. That was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. God forbid women.
Hey.
Literally.
Yeah, you got me there.
Fuck, man. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I mean, it was both. It was all of the above, not just women. Not just the women,
multiple.
but the
It was all the
children.
animals. It was the women, the
Yeah.
children, too. No, I realized too late what you were referencing.
See, Ray claims not to like Star Wars, but they secretly
I don't
do.
like Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
I hate Star Wars.
You saw
I'm
Revenge
just
of the Sith
burdened.
in theaters with us?
Because I like hanging out with you guys.
You can try and deny
The
it.
movie was okay. I kind of wish I brought my Sudoku book with me, but I didn't really want to be
hate you
rude.
so much.
That's
Crazy.
I wish you did because I think it'd be funny.
I brought
would've-
it for Dune 2.
I would have taken.
when I
You
went
brought
to
it
see
to
Dune
Dune.
2.
That movie was amazing,
Yeah.
dude. Too.
I got pretty bored.
It was
really long.
amazing.
It was really long.
That's insane.
It was like
God.
unnecessarily long.
That's.
It's like
Did
2.5
you watch
hours.
The first one?
Yeah, I watched the first one. I fell asleep.
Oh my god.
God bless you.
Thank
Speaking
you
of falling
everyone
asleep,
for
Resident Evil.
listening to Don't Even Get Me
That's how
Started.
it
This is the last episode. We're cutting the show off. We're done. No more.
When Connor does the Dune episode eventually, I promise I will be asleep during
I'm
the whole
doing
thing.
a Dune episode?
I don't know, are you?
Probably not. I don't really have anything to
There we
say.
go. Then I'll stay awake. This time I'll be
I
awake.
haven't seen either of the movies.
What? Oh, they're really good. They are very
They're
long,
okay.
though.
I've heard this.
They're pretty okay.
They're incredible.
I've heard
and
this.
They're like whatever.
Ray doesn't get an opinion
heard
on
this.
sci-fi.
Zendaya and Twink Timothy Chalamet have sex, and it's like super funny because they're both twinkish.
They don't even...
Twink on twink violence.
He's
a
Speaking
twink.
of twink on twink violence, Resident Evil.
Next we got Chris Redfield, brother of Claire
I think you'll
Redfield.
find his name is Chris Resident Evil.
Connor, please.
Chris MP5.
Oh my god, okay. Chris Redfield. I think they did him a lot better justice costume-wise and looks-wise in the Welcome to Raccoon City game, or movie. They got his iconic green vest. They gave him kind of the same, like, youthful, still has some gumption in him spirit. He's very optimistic, and then his optimism gets crushed once everyone realizes that the government is out to get you. In the films, what Anderson films, he honestly, I forgot all about him. I have no idea what he was like. I barely remember him. I think he was like locked up because he tried to break into a building, but it was the apocalypse, so everyone was trying to break into buildings. So it was just a really dumb reason. And he was like, oh my god, Claire, when Claire showed up, but Claire had amnesia, so she was like, who the fuck are you? And so everyone was like, we don't trust this Chris guy. It was pretty memorable. It was not very memorable in my opinion. I think he was just in the 4th one, not very many. So it was like, whatever. Next we have Barry Birkin, or Barry, not Barry Birkin, Barry something. Barry
Resident Evil.
Barry Resident Evil. His name is not, last name isn't Birkin. I think it's Burton. Very memorable, clearly. So memorable that you can click one more time for me. We're not going to really talk about him all that much. Next, we're going to talk about Wesker, though. You can click once for me. Wesker! So, Wesker is one of the big baddies in Resident Evil. He betrays Jill and Chris at the beginning of the first game. He's just kind of a guy. I think he's, like, everyone already knows he's a villain in the films because he's just set up to be a villain. He later gets the T-Series virus, I think it's T-Series virus, and becomes basically what Alice is, which is like a super soldier. So he gets all buff and stuff. He's like super fast. In the games, he is probably one of the few human tyrants that can like actually stay as a human and like control his powers, because he has super speed, super strength. He's got weird serpent eyes. He can like regenerate his body and shit. He can probably do other shit. I don't know. He might have a cloaca now. Who knows? It's a very interesting. It's like a I don't know what it's called, like a like God mod. He's very like OP, and he dies via a boulder being crushed on. That's not how he does. But part of it is a boulder gets crushed on him in Resident Evil 5. I don't remember what it was. I've seen the scene once. All I know is that Chris punches a boulder so hard it helps contribute to the death of Wesker. The guy on the left, that is Wesker as well. Albert Wesker, actually, is his name. In Welcome to Raccoon City, he is played by Tom Hopper, who is also the monkey guy from Umbrella Academy. And he, in this one, he's kind of funky. Because, like, Wesker is, like, a consistently serious guy. He wears sunglasses indoors at night, which is funky as hell. This guy, this Wesker, he's kind of, like, he's a little more meek and kind of, like, hesitant. And his motivation is...
played by the same actor as Chris?
No.
It looks like it, though.
Does it?
Yeah. What? You can tell white people apart?
Barely. It takes a lot of training, but I could do it. Yeah.
If it wasn't for the different colored shirts, I would have thought they were the same guy.
One's blonde, one's brunette. That's kind of the biggest difference between them.
And
They're
you
both
can
buff
tell
as hell.
because the movie is well lit.
Yes, indeed. It doesn't take place in the dark for the majority of the time.
Okay.
Wesker,
Additional point. Wesker on the right, losing a Neo lookalike contest in 5th place. Or something.
Literally.
You beat me
No,
to it. I
seriously.
was gonna make that
Literally.
joke.
It's actually insane how fucking weirdly, like, Matrixy he's inspired by in this film. It's kind of wacky. It's wacky. You can click one more time for me. I think
Guys, should I
there's
dress like
one more.
this?
Yes. That should be your cowboy outfit.
As long as it's all blue. Oh my god, yeah, I should. So, this is Wesker after he gets all naked and dies and gets a pair of sunglasses.
On.
She gave him sunglasses because he was like, my eyes, they hurt. And she's like, here you go. The lady on the right, that's Lily Gao. That's the voice actress for Ada Wong in Resident Evil 4. That's also Ada Wong in the Welcome to Raccoon City games. What movie? Fuck. It's kind of the ending of the film is kind of set up to have more to it. I don't think it got greenlit to have more sequels, even though it could have had sequels. I thought it was really fun. I liked it a lot. But you can't just please one person on the earth. You have to please more than one person, which is fine. I get it. But if that was the case,
me specifically.
They should. But if they've
Correct.
been doing that for that's why Sharknado exists. It pleased one person and it just kept going.
Yeah, just you.
No, I hate those movies.
No, Ray likes them.
I don't like them.
You're here first.
I've
guys.
talked about how much I don't like Sharknado
Ray
in the
likes-
Beowulf video.
Yeah, you did.
Connor
did.
likes gaslighting, folks.
Connor is a big gaslighter.
I'm not a gaslighter. You're a
mm.
gaslighter. You love being gaslit.
Gaslighter, I hardly know her.
Nice.
So, Connor, you can put in pictures of Jill when I send them, but Jill Valentine is the
Jill
main
Resident Evil.
character. Yes, Jill Resident Evil, Jill Valentine. She's in the first game, she's in the third game, she's in the fifth game, she's in some of the other spin-off games. She is big girl, big awesome girl, Jill Valentine. In the films, for some reason, like in the film for Welcome to Raccoon City, I love the casting choice that they did for her. The actress, she's actually the same actress that plays, I think her name is Ghost in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I have no idea the actress's name.
I don't remember her name, but that's the same actress as that plays Jill. She did a good job.
New Avengers.
Yeah, in Thunderbolts,
We're all
yeah.
gonna go see New Avengers, folks.
Maybe.
I saw
We're
that
gonna
movie.
go and see it.
I saw it the Monday it came out, and Marvel themselves spoiled that thing for me. It's been long enough we can say it because Marvel themselves has said it.
What, New
Who?
Avengers?
Yeah.
Dude, they released that in like a public statement.
I know,
like on a red carpet.
The weekend it came out. Like, I was so mad.
Because they still assume everyone goes to see it the weekend it came out.
I saw it Monday.
I didn't.
It's pretty good.
I
Right?
didn't either. I haven't seen it.
Okay, 33.3 repeating percent of people saw it the weekend it came out.
It was pretty good. I liked it.
That's good to say. Wow, actually, you liked it?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, wild. Okay.
It's awesome.
Maybe I will go
dude.
see it. If Connor liked it, that means it's probably good.
It
Because I don't trust Connor's opinion because it's so picky.
I wouldn't trust Connor's opinion. I mean, everything he said about Star Wars is like CIA agitprop, so...
I think you'll find I'm right on all things.
No.
I've never had a bad
Speaking
opinion
of
in my
being
life.
right on all things, Resident Evil.
Yeah. So Jill Valentine, actress that plays her in Welcome to Raccoon City, awesome job. They made Jill a little bit more trigger happy, a little more goofy, a little bit more sinister. I like her. She still has a good heart. I think that's a good part of Jill Valentine is that she's very empathetic. In the Anderson films, she's a little bit more reserved, independent, kind of bratty. She's wearing her Resident Evil 3 outfit, which is her in a tube top and mini skirt. The most impractical thing. They're trying to evacuate the city, and she's like, you know what's a good outfit choice is that if I had no pants on. Like, girl, who decided that that was the outfit that they were going to pick? She had better options. She had a full-on police officer uniform that could have worked better than that, and they chose that one. So, I'll Connor, if you don't mind putting those pictures in when you edit it, I'll send those to you. Please and thank you. I love you.
Get to it, worker boy.
Do it. Do my biddings, child.
Hold on.
Okay, go to the next slide. Okay. These are some of the main characters. These are just examples from the game setup. So Claire Redfield, she has the iconic red vest. Jill Valentine, nothing super iconic about her. She has kind of like a blue sort of theme with her. Chris, that's emo Chris from Resident Evil Village. That's Leon Kennedy when he's a little rookie cop. So some people have associated colors to them. I think it's kind of a cool, interesting fact. But that's not important. The models here, despite being, I mean, they're not that old. It's like the oldest one here would be 2018. I think they did a good job on the models. Obviously, video games are not meant to look exactly real. It's meant to look realistic.
Disagree. I want every game to look realistic.
It looks realistic in the sense that it's anatomically correct.
That'd be absolutely impossible to tell it apart.
You can't.
Yep, on all
You
games.
can't do it.
It's
so hard.
If a game's not
They're not
photorealistic,
they're not
it's worth
uncanny at
playing.
all. Look at them. They look like normal people. Jill is just unusually that hot all the time. You can click one more time for me. I think I have one more picture here. I think it's just, yeah. So, and these are some of the older models of the game. So that's the more recent remake games. RE2, 3, and 4 are a lot more realistic looking. These are from the older games. The top 4 vary between Resi 5, Resi 6, and I think that's Revelations, where Barry is from. Barry Burton. It is Barry Burton. Fuck yeah. Bottom row is a mix between RE6, and I think that's Claire from maybe Revelations as well. I don't know. I'm actually not quite sure. I assume that's Revelations because I think she's in that one. But the models, like, they transition from being a little bit more, obviously, a little too beautiful for video game standards to a little bit more realistic because they did model Leon and Claire. I think they did with Jill as well, after real people. And I think they look really good. I think they're after models, though, so of course they're going to look really pretty. But they aren't just the typical, like, same face model that you see on most characters. Like, Leon and Jake Muller on this page, like, if you kind of take away their hair, they could have identical faces. It's pretty, they're pretty similar. So, beauty of modeling, it's advanced and it looks really cool. You can go to the next slide.
This Jake
had nothing
Muller
to do with
guy,
my-
he looks
Yeah.
like every mid-2000s Xbox 360 protagonist ever.
Yeah.
This is Star Killer.
Yeah.
This is John Infamous. This is a couple of GTA guys, main character. This is
He's
other
got the
games I
attitude one
can't
too.
think
He's
of.
very
A couple of Need for
he's
Speed
very
characters
bitchy.
that I've never
He's
played.
like, you can't bother
Yeah.
me. I've got a bad dad
He
and I've got
looks-
issues. And Sherry's like, no, you should come
It
with me.
looks like
so we
Star
can do
Killer. That's what it
experiments on
most
you."
reminds me of. But other
Mm.
or Xbox 360 protagonists
Yeah.
that I am blanking on because I'm tired.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on from the fun stuff and get into what theory I looked into. Don't worry, we're not going to look at this for too long. The main scholarship I used was Linda Hutchin, who wrote A Theory of Adaptation, Brock Holmquist, who wrote Unraveling Resident Evil, Ewan Kirkland, who wrote horror video games, and Kaylin Doyle-Myerscough, who wrote the article Designing Games for Affect. So starting at the top, Linda Hutchin is a source that I have used multiple times for multiple different papers. I used this one for my Beowulf paper as well, which I did briefly mention in the Beowulf video. She talks about the three, basically, like, not rules, but examples of adaptation. There's process of reception, process of something, and then formal entity or product. The third one that I didn't write down, it wasn't relevant to my paper, so I didn't remember it, but one of them basically is like, that one is kind of more elaborate. It's like adaptation from like a story that isn't even made into anything. It's kind of like a folktale almost, like adaptation. It's kind of hard to explain. Process of reception, if I remember which one it is, because I get them confused because it doesn't explain it very well to me. We're gonna have to cut this part out. This is gonna take me a second. I'm so sorry.
Live research, folks.
Okay. Process of reception is basically where you take the bones of an original concept and then you kind of remodel it into something that you can recognize is an adaptation of something, but it is not this like frame for frame the exact same thing. So that is the W.S. Anderson film adaptation, where Mila Jovovich is the main character as Alice, and there are no other characters from the game in the first film. It's like the first film was an independent film. You can figure out that it's a Resident Evil adaptation because of A, the title, B, the setting, because it takes place in the Raccoon City forest in the Umbrella Laboratory, and 3, the concept, essentially, the monster outbreak, the monsters that are in it, not just the zombies but the lickers as well. They're the big exposed
Liquor, I hardly know
it's yeah. It's the monsters that have basically the skin stripped off of them, and they have a big exposed brain, and they have a really long tongue. So I don't think hunters are in that one, right? I know. And then there is formal entity or product, which would be the Welcome to Raccoon City film, which is basically where you just take the original concept and then you reformat it into a different medium or genre, with minor changes in narrative elements. So you would have to change a little bit here and there because you're adapting from one medium to another. There's no avoidance. You can't just change. You can't just keep everything the exact same. You're going to have changes in it. It can be done well, obviously. Like in this film, people argue that it wasn't done well. I think it was done perfectly fine. I think they did a good job. A good example of The Last of Us, the TV show, is a really good example of a formal entity or product because it takes the sequences of events from the games, but they cut down a lot of the filler because a lot of the filler is you playing the game. So you're going to have to shorten it down. The last episode of of the first season, the spoiler alert, when Joel is getting Ellie out of the hospital, that sequence takes a long time. And that episode shortens it to like a few minutes. It's pretty quick. So there's going to be
in Edmonton.
It was, yes, we did talk about that, I think.
I've heard
More
of
than
the
one
show.
episode.
I've heard of
And
that
like,
place.
I don't know if you've ever talked about it before.
Last episode.
Yeah.
I think it was last episode.
was.
We talked about it before in a
Yeah,
different episode too.
Like
Yeah.
2 or 3 episodes.
Multiple. Yeah. So that was what I used. I also talked about sign systems, which is basically just specific elements like narrative, conflict, characters, so on and so forth, that just to kind of narrow down what part of the mediums I am analyzing. And by medium, I mean like film medium, video game medium, book medium, so on and so forth. Brock Holmquist was one of my first sources. His was talking about the discussion of video games as a literary device or literary concept in general. He says there's a conversation surrounding literary theory about the medium of video games as a whole, so one would have to modify traditional literary theories and concepts where appropriate to understand the medium. You're going to have to take what is most applicable to a video game medium and just change it a little bit to apply to your medium so that it can work. So a lot of people use a lot of film theories and like film theory in general and apply that to games because it is the most applicable. Some people do take literary theory, like just normal book theory kind of like people use on literary like paper, like reading in these as well. Not as, in my opinion, it works as like for genre analysis, but for like analyzing actual in film details, no, you should use film theory stuff for video games. You know, it just makes more sense.
I've heard of those guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to find some stuff talking about video games. I had a lot of issues finding very specific things. Like, I was looking for things about affect theory in video games. I found it, but not for horror games. And when I did, it was horror games and film. And then when I found something about affect theory, it was just affect theory talking about building video games. And there was like the psychological responses in horror films. And there was like a bunch of different things. So I had my source list was long and it was elaborate.
It's a good thing we don't
Not a
believe
lot
in
of them talked
citing
about
our
games.
sources here.
Well,
Your source list was a quote
Funny you
board
say
with
that.
red yarn connecting a bunch of different things.
yeah. What?
Yeah?
What?
Your source list.
What about it?
Corkboard, red yarn. You had a crazed look in your eye. Disheveled hair.
I was frothing at
You
the
look
mouth.
like a guy from... You're frothing at the mouth like whichever guy it is in
What's that?
Always Sunny. That
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what's that meme? What is it? What's it
It's
like?
actually Charlie Day.
Yeah.
It's like Pepe something. What is it that he's talking about?
I'm trying to think of it. It's
I can't
Pepe
remember.
something.
Pepe something.
I've never seen.
It looks
It's
like a good
okay.
show. I'd watch it.
I don't
Always
like it that
Sunny.
much. It has its moments.
I know. Yeah, Always
But it
Sunny.
has
the
our
show
boy,
that
our
famously said
late
suicide
childish
is
Gambino.
badass.
Yep.
The show
Yeah.
that famously said, "I dropped my monster condom from a Magnum Dot." I'm just thinking
that
of Dan
Always
DeVito
Sunny?
quotes.
Yeah.
The show that said, "I'm the trash man."
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Cool.
I'm
Did
starting
not
to
know
think
that.
Ethan's never seen the show, and he's just seen a few memes here and there.
I
don't know why
literally
you would
just
think
said
that.
I've
It's very
never seen the show.
Now he's gaslighting us.
From the show that bought you Charlie Day beating the shit out of a child.
Yeah.
There's also that one episode where that one guy grabs a lady by the vagina and pulls her up into the air.
That's Mac,
Or, like,
and
shoves her
that's
up into-
D.
Yes.
How do I know? I don't even like that show.
Mac D's nuts.
Nice. Got him.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
high-fiving
Okay.
you virtually.
That's payback right
Yes.
there.
Okay. Ewan Kirkland, horror video games.
Founder of Costco. I'm locked in.
He talks about, Kirkland mayonnaise. He talks about theory of forms, which is similar to Hutchins' sign systems, which I used to talk about world setting, characters, and events. Myerscough. This is her definition of affect theory because it's multidisciplinary. We're looking at it from a literary stance. Affect theory is a framework that humanities scholars use to talk about the ways that emotions circulate between people within social interactions and through a media object. That's a lot of words right there, but I don't know if that explains it enough for you guys. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of makes sense.
It does
as
make
much
sense.
as the affect and effect difference makes sense, but yeah.
Affect, it's just like a stand-in theory name. So for some
But
fucking
that's
reason,
just
they said
a theory.
affect instead of effect.
Game
theory.
Speaking of game theories, Resident Evil.
Yeah. Anyways, this is the scholarship I use. You can move on to the next slide. Affect theory. What I was talking about in my presentation is specifically two scholars, Julian Hanich and Tim Marsh. Julian Hanich mostly talked about film affect, which is more of a observing third-person experience. You have more of a sympathetic relationship with the characters that you're watching through affective mimicry, which is kind of like reflecting the emotion from the character onto yourself while you watch it. You don't realize you're doing it sometimes, and then you kind of catch yourself being, oh, this person's clenching their teeth and like bundling their like tightening their fists, and instinctively through effective mimicry, you're doing the same thing. You know, emotionally, it's a lot more emotionally distant. So a lot of people who experience effective mimicry don't always empathize with the screen character. They just kind of sympathize with them. So when a character dies, we feel for them. When a character goes through a hardship, we feel for them. When they're getting excited, we feel with them. Like it's a whole thing. Or feel for them. It's a lot more distant. Whereas Tim Marsh argues in his piece that it's more of an empathetic relationship with video games, which makes a lot more sense because you are interacting with the media, not just as the character, but with other characters, with the surrounding setting. You're in there and you're making decisions and you're moving forward. Like, without you, the game doesn't move forward, but that doesn't prevent the game from obviously finishing because there's multiple games, the story's already been made. It's just a narrative that you get to experience, which allows you to be embedded into that experience. Vicariously is what he calls as vicarious experience. That interactivity allows you to feel more with the characters and feel for the characters strongly, especially if you are getting engaged in the media. If you don't like the game, you're probably not going to get this empathetic relationship, which is fine. Just play something else. I was talking about in my presentation.
Play something else. Get good. Have an empathetic reaction once or twice in your life.
Yeah, maybe once or twice in your life. I don't know if you've ever experienced, but whatever. At this point in my presentation,
sociopath to get good.
At this part of my presentation, I looked over. I was wearing my reading glasses while doing this presentation. I did it on purpose because I didn't want to see the faces of anybody because I didn't want to get too nervous and puke on stage in front of my peers and such.
Understandable.
My mom said I did fine. Yeah. I was at this point though. I did see my professor, the head of the English department, who approved my thesis, so I can actually write it. Looked so confused. She's like a hardcore like old English, Middle English fan. Teaches Chaucer, teaches Milton, teaches Beowulf, teaches Old English as a language. Like, she's old school. And she's like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was like, she was kind of like, oh my god. Like, you know how, like, you know when, like, you meet a mom from, like, a soccer game, and, like, you tell her that you gave your kid free will to choose the cereal he wants to eat, and she's like, oh, you're giving your kid so many rights. Like, you're almost treating them like a human.
I don't think kids
insane.
deserve rights, personally, but...
So you're the mom, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right, so imagine you see Connor experiencing what children
Maybe you should eat what I serve you or starve.
with rights go through. Yeah. So that's kind of what it looked like to me. But anyways, I thought that people seemed to like my discussion about this because I was like on the left here, on the right. Technically left, it was my right, their left. Mila Jovovich just got out of the hospital, being experimented on, came out to the apocalypse, no human in sight. She is ready to fuck shit up. She is about to break down, but she now has a shotgun. She is ready to kill whoever put her in that position because now she is part tyrant. On the right is Claire finding young Sherry Birkin, who is the daughter of the lead scientists who released the G virus and T virus into Raccoon City, which caused the apocalypse in the first place. Her mother, since Sherry was able to bond with the G virus, let her be bonded with it, which was killing Sherry, and that's why she's so gray and disgusting. And Annette, who was her mother, is like, I can't help her. This needs to happen. But she was like, I'm sorry to do this to you, Sherry. And Claire, who takes on kind of a motherly role, my phone went off, which was very strange. Oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ray. Is there something you'd like to share with the class?
Well, no, it's my dad. He's calling me, but he's
shit.
here.
You should answer that. I was just making, like, the teacher joke, but I'm not even, like, the teacher.
I'll finish here real quickly anyways, but you kind of experience the frustration with Claire about Sherry basically losing her humanity because her parents suck ass at their job. They're bad at scientists. They're bad at being parents. Yeah. That's my slide. Sorry, my dad asked if he knows if I changed my oil, or if he changed my oil.
I mean, that is important.
That is important.
Moving on to the case study. We're getting near the end, don't worry. The case study, I played Resident Evil 1
I'm in it for the long run.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know about Ethan, though.
Yeah. Well,
Don't worry.
I had dinner, but we've only been here. We've only recorded an hour and a half. We're doing pretty good.
I think it's just under an hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
A half-hour clip, and then actually you're right. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I know how to count time. Actually, go fuck yourself. I played the first Resident Evil game, the first remake game, and I did it basically like a controlled environment situation. For Resident Evil 1 to kind of encapsulate the horror, because I didn't think I was going to get scared from the quote-unquote originals because they're a lot lower quality, but surprisingly, they were fucking terrifying. I was panicking my ass the whole way through, but initially, for the first game, I decided not to have a walkthrough by me or near me. Turns out I needed it the most with the first game, but whatever. I had a controlled environment for both, which both was lights on or off, companionship. I didn't even fucking finish my note there. That's hilarious. It meant to say companionship, if needed. I don't know what the 4 was for. I think I was going to copy paste it and then I forgot. But the second game, I also had a walkthrough, but I didn't even need it. Like, the walkthrough situation should have been reversed. It was way harder for the original game to figure out the puzzles than it was for the remake. The remake was very simple. It almost kind of walked you through it a little bit, but enough to just give you enough clues where it's like, I just need to find things and put them together. Whereas the first one, it's like, okay, I have this thing, I have no idea where to put it. So it was kind of funky that way. You can click one for me, Connor. I had a harder time with the gameplay in the first one. The first time. So when you start to play the first game, you're in the woods, just outside of Raccoon City, with your crew. You're with Chris, Wesker, Barry, and Richter, I think his name is.
From
and
Castlevania?
Guys all run into.
In Smash Bros?
Sure. Richard. I don't know. Richard, maybe.
So Dick here.
And you get followed by zombie dogs because they're like going to eat you and all that stuff.
Fuck
and then you get
dogs, dude.
zombie dogs. You get separated for a little bit. You get separated from Chris for sure, and then eventually get separated from Wesker. And you're sticking around with Barry for a little bit of time. But there's literally like, you can go investigate the door you came from. You can open it, which means the dogs will get at you, which I forgot about. And I died instantly because I'm stupid and I'm really bad at the controls. The way that you do the controls, if I'm remembering correctly, you have to hold down the left mouse button and then use the right mouse button to shoot. So you aim with the right, you shoot with the left. But you just have to aim, like, you don't have to point. It does it automatically for you. So there's no, you don't have to do the aiming. There's no aim reticle or anything like that. Whereas the second game,
The
you
best
have
kind
to
of
fucking
game,
aim
one
like
that
any
plays
other.
it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the normal Resident Evil 2 remake, that one's just a typical third-person shooter, so it's very simple to kind of figure out and do and everything like that. I think that preferred Resident Evil 2, despite it being a little harder, but I don't know. Resident Evil 1 was just hard in general. And because it was hard in general, I'm not very good at these games. Connor, you can click once for me. I died a lot. I said this a lot. I died a lot.
I mean, it happens to the best of us.
It really does.
No one's perfect,
Nah.
I do have a question.
They kind of.
What console are you playing the original on?
On my computer.
Ah,
They're both on my computer.
a pirated copy or?
No, it's a legal copy.
Steam.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was on PC. All right, keep going. I'm just curious.
No.
It'd be really
the
funny
first...
to pirate a game that you were going to talk about playing in a academic setting.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I didn't pay. Honestly, they're pretty encouraging about pirating your sources because it's like, hey, you have to pay a lot of fucking things to
I
get
stole
into.
like a third of mine from my.
Yeah, I think
Incredibly
that's pretty
based.
fair.
Yeah, you know what? Academia is pro-piracy, folks. You heard it here
It
first.
is. If your professor's
Hey,
cool, they
listen.
will be like, just pirate it.
I'm very
just
pro
pirate it, no.
libgen. I'm what is the website where you can find
You should-
a lot of scientific papers on?
It's not Z Library, is it?
No,
It's
that
something
one went
else.
down. I heard.
Oh, no.
I heard it from a friend. What the fuck
Damn.
is it called? Sci-Hub.
Interesting.
It's really good for finding scientific papers.
Very cool. It's funny because sorry. It's funny. One time, one of my professors was like, "And whatever you do, don't use this website to pirate your books, and don't use this search engine to find the specific things to help you find them a lot easier, and don't download it as this certain file because it won't give your computer viruses. And I was like, thanks, Dr. whatever your name was. I don't remember your name.
That's cool.
So
Thank
some
you,
profs
Dr.
are-
Anonymous.
Thank you, Dr. Anonymous. So one of my professors too for this thesis was like,
Bleep
what,
out
you know,
all those references to how to pirate so that any government agents cannot track how to pirate better.
No, I can leave them in. They were just for educational purposes, so you just know which ones to avoid.
I was trying to learn how to pirate as like a pirate, you know, like yo-ho pirate. I don't know what the government was
Well,
for
you
me.
gotta go and meet up with Captain Tractor. He's the last Saskatchewan pirate I've heard.
Whom?
Captain Jack, that's my cat.
Whom?
You guys
Captain
familiar with the arrogant
who?
worms?
It's a song. I know what you're talking
No.
about.
I don't.
I gotta like this song. This is an important part of Canadian history.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not Canadian unless you've heard it at least once. There's no way you
I've
haven't heard
probably
it.
heard it. I think you showed it to me before.
Ethan's probably shown it
This
to
sounds-
me.
That would make sense.
Wheat and
Oh,
barley and all
yes.
the other grains, and it's oh.
Evan has both shown this to me.
I
like occasions so close to each other.
Played that shit in Rogers Place the other night during the Oilers game. Banger.
Mhm. Did you go to the Oilers game recently
No, I just watched it.
Boy, there, I barely
at
know it.
the Rogers Center?
No, on this fancy newfangled device called the television.
You said they played it
Tyler
at
was a hockey
Rogers.
player,
I
so
was
we're the boss.
assuming that you were there.
That's a fair assumption. but
Yeah,
know
I thought
what?
you were also there, the way you
know
said
what?
it.
Assuming
Yeah, I
gets
don't know what
ya.
you were trying
You
to.
said it
They
so
played it at the
assume you
game.
just make when
Yeah,
you
that's-
assume you just make an ass out of you and me.
Oh,
Get it? That's how.
you know, I
you
deserve
spell
I deserve
assume.
the slander. It's fine.
No, you don't. It's fine.
God, Jesus.
They also played. I think when we were playing in Texas, they put a Nickelback song on, and I'm like, "Oh, you done it now. You powered us up," and then we won the game.
It's amazing.
It's true. You can't play Albertan music for the Albertan team.
So the great Chad
That's true.
Kroger. That's his name, right?
Yeah,
That's my
it's-
first
that's
name is
the,
Chad.
That's Chad Kroger is the front man for Nickelback, or
Yeah.
was.
Chad Nickelback.
Chad Nickelback, that's right.
Yes. All right. We can move on to the next slide. No worries. We are done with that now. I added some of my favorite quotes that I said while I was playing the game. So basically, I had my phone out, did speech to text, and then I edited it so that it was a little bit more sentence coherent. This is when I was playing the first Resident Evil game. It's just some shit that I said. I got a dagger. Yay, I will be able to escape so I can use a defensive item to save myself, which I don't like that it gives me this option because now I think there's going to be a zombie in here, and I'm super not good with the controls yet. I don't know how to get out of here. Going down the hallway. This is one. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, there's a zombie. Oh, hello. Oh no, it's okay. You got this. Okay. I think I do. Okay, that's fine. I need to get out of here. Give me out of here. Get me out. Please get me out, please. How do I do? What do I do here? What do I do? Go. Die. I killed the zombie. That's awesome. So in this process,
I've
I
played
got the
games with you
dagger,
before.
which
I can 100%
I feel
do
like
this.
maybe it had a bit more emotion than you gave it there.
No,
do you want me to give
exactly
it more
like
emotion
this.
next time? I have more quotes. I
I-
can give it more emotion if you want.
No, I'm just thinking some of this might have been, I don't know, peeking a microphone or two.
We're just like
Especially the
constantly
oh hello, oh no,
screaming
it's okay, you
directly
got
into
this,
it.
okay. Honestly, I think I was more calm than you'd think. I was actually just like talking really fast. I was just
That's fair.
speed talk. Yeah,
Adrenaline got you locked in like that.
it did. It did. I was locked the fuck
Adrenaline,
in.
you know, one of the best drugs, adrenaline.
I'm more of a
Injected into
heroin
my
man
veins every day.
myself, but
All right.
I like meth. I've been on
No,
meth.
me too. High five.
High five.
Alright.
Amazing. You go on to the next one. There's more shit that I
I
said.
guess you're both on meth now, aren't you?
I'm not on meth anymore. I haven't taken ADHD medication in a long time.
Huh. You just focused, just buckled
I've-
up your bootstraps.
No.
I've also
it's just none of
stopped
us
'cause
working.
unfortunately I'm not noticing a difference right now. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a break.
I've
from
tried. Yeah, I've tried multiples. It just doesn't work.
it because they just let me listen to fucking like tunes and podcasts at work, so what do I need drugs for?
True.
Being a
That's
cool
nice.
guy. So I take a line every day before I go to work.
Oh, very
That's
office of you.
hilarious.
And then
The fact
I
that you would
drink
be
a
like,
beer on the way in.
the idea of Connor being like a raging drug addict and alcoholic is so funny to me.
Yeah, Connor's
It's
going
like-
through the fucking the whole like morning routine that they outlined in The Wolf of Wall Street in that one scene.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fucking 30 Quaaludes, where the hell he says.
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
I don't remember either.
You know, all right,
I'm
all right.
literally Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is he on Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, he's the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh. He doesn't look like a wolf. He looks like a...
He's not.
He looks like a man.
Cosmetic at all.
There's not a wolf in this
he doesn't
movie at
look
all.
like a dog. He looks like a man. Yeah, literally.
Inside
go to
you,
the
there's
next
two
slide.
wolves. One of them is Leonardo DiCaprio. The other is a real wolf.
That's really funny. Oh yeah, okay. So this one, I was stuck in the hallway that I got the dagger in. I was freaking out. I was like so confused. So something I do know about this game is, how do I get out? Something about this game is that, well, that you need to consider that if a zombie isn't burnt, the zombie can come back and then become, I think it's called a pale face, that or like a red something. Like it's got a name or two here, and oh my freaking heck. Oh, I'm so confused. Where am I? But I got it, I guess. Anyways, yeah, you have to be really careful to not screw yourself over, because if you don't know where the kerosene is and stuff, then you're gonna have a hard time, which is just fine. I'll figure it out, but it's a whatever. I don't have it. New players won't know about this, and then come back to the reanimated zombie and go, what the hell? I already killed you. And then have your shit given back to you, because these guys are so much stronger than before. Anyways, I already knew too much about this. I knew a lot about this game going into it, so it didn't hinder the experience, but it definitely like helped me be a little bit more aware. But this fucking hallway, for some reason, was getting to me. I was getting so pissed, because I was like, I can't, because the camera angles are fixated. You can't move the camera. You have to just go progress down a hallway until the camera moves so you can see a little bit more. And there was a zombie in this room, I think, like further down, so I didn't want to go too far, because I was like, I don't have any bullets. I can't get out. I just used my knife they gave me, because it's like, throw a knife in the person, so yeah, a defensive tactic. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a zombie here. And then there was. And then I got stuck. And I friggin' hated it. Turns out I could have moved a thing and it would have made things so much easier. So, first game, awesome so far. You can go to the next slide.
Can you please release the
three-
complete unedited audio of this?
I didn't record it.
What?
I didn't record it. I just
No.
did text, speech to text. I know, I'm sorry.
This is terrible.
Yeah, but how
I
funny
s-
would it have been if you had had like fucking like a voice recorder or OBS running the whole time, and you just hit play on
Oh,
that bitch and your
shut
screams
up.
were in the
You just,
thesis presentation.
streamed it on Twitch on Twitch or something.
Switch.
Switch, yeah.
Switch.
Yeah, I'm tired.
The alternative
Switch.
universe.
Just
Twitch.
make a just YouTube Let's Plays while doing this. What's
I
up,
guess I
guys?
could.
It's me, Ray. Smash that like and subscribe.
No,
Can we hit
stop, that hurts my
20,000
hubris.
by the end of the day?
The end of the day.
Yo,
Oh,
what's
no.
going,
I would
Alice Resident Evil? Thanks for the 20 bits there. Is that what Twitch had? I
Do not.
I don't like Twitch.
That is Twitch. Yeah, the bits are Twitch. Yeah.
I don't
I don't watch Twitch.
I don't watch
that
live
much.
streams.
Yeah, I don't really
They
either.
don't.
I don't think I'd live stream, even though it makes more sense to do it. But also I don't edit, so it just neither is an option.
Editing's easy. It
Uh,
just takes a while.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, I don't have the programs for it, and also I'm cheap. But
You can probably
that's
give me
very
an old
flattering of
editing
you guys.
software
That
if you really want. But
I guess so.
I have Sony Vegas
'Cause I know how to
11
use
on
Audacity.
disc. Audacity sucks.
I like Audacity.
It
I know how to. It's because I know how to use it.
If you-
I'm familiar with it.
Oh,
The
yeah, Adobe
audacity to know how to use
Oh,
Audacity.
good for you.
nice
Yeah, what's
fucking
the
got 'em.
audacity that you would? What's the audacity of you dissing on Audacity?
I don't know. It's just clunky.
Audacitus.
That's fair. It is pretty clunky. It's old.
Yeah, it
but it's
functions.
clunky.
But if you want an old clunky editing software, I have Sony Vegas 11 on disc. If you really want.
I don't think I want that, but
Yeah, that's
thank you
fair
anyways.
enough. It works. I made a lot of stuff on it.
Cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll consider it someday. I don't have any intention of editing things though. I'm not a big editor. If I had the money, I would just pay for someone to do it, but, you know, I don't have that money. I'm flattered that you guys
just
think that...
forced me to do it.
Yeah, well, I said I'd pay you, because it is a service
Sure,
that I would like to pay you for.
I do get paid in experience.
Yeah. And you get paid in fun experience and...
For the
what's it
exposure.
called? Exposure, thank you. Networking, yeah. This is my beginning playing Resident Evil 2, which I also have played before, so this one it's just been a long time. You start off in the gas station. I start as Claire, I started as Leon. I didn't start as Claire, I started as Leon. So I was just narrating, I'm in the freezer hearing funky noises, the music is getting more ominous and unsettling, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, oh, music is getting more spooky, which means, oh, I can't get out. I can't get out the original way, oh shit, I have to go a different way. Nothing's happening, but the music is very heightened. You have to defeat the zombie no matter what, like you can't go around them in order to leave. The music was getting really heightened up, like really insane and intense because the zombie was still alive. The zombie was on the ground, passed out. And until you kill it officially, the music will not calm down. And I was trying to find a way out. I was like, how do I leave this freezer? I don't know how to get out. Because one of the guys fell in front of the door, so I couldn't get out the other way. So I had to find the keys, which was by the dead zombie. But at the same time, I had to fucking kill it again. It wouldn't let me do it. And I was like, okay. So it's picky. But it was fine. It was fun. It wasn't as scary as the first one. It was scary, but I played in broad daylight because I was being a little bitch. And I didn't want to die. And then the next slide.
I mean, that's understandable.
That
I don't
would
want
make
to die
sense,
either.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Reasonable.
This was, I found this in my notes. This is, I labeled it me going nuts.
You going nuts?
And going nuts! I think, okay, I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay, so this is me trying to leave the convenience store, which is a very heightened moment, because the shelves are falling, zombies are coming at you. You get out and you see Claire Redfield trying to help you. So I go, oh, okay, we're gonna run. No more. Don't I know I heard him getting up and I don't want to have to deal with it. Can I use this? How do I use this? Why are you awake again? How are you not dead? I just fucking, are you a different guy? How did I get, where's the door? It's here, I think. Okay, time to go. Nope, we gotta go. Where's the door? I saw Claire. She tried to come into the store and now that the gang's together, there's a bunch of zombies. Yeah. So it was just, left and right shit was going down and you were forced to run. Like, you don't have to walk, you just run. And I was like, fuck, I'm trying to get out and things are knocking over and it slows you down. And I was like, where's the ammo? I don't have any ammo. And eventually Claire's like, I'm here. And Leon's like, get down, don't shoot. And then you shoot a zombie and then he's like, get to my Jeep. And I like his Jeep's really cute. So that one was, I was going like bonko crazy, but it was a good time.
Is bonko crazy the English term?
Yes. That's the affective term for you are experiencing a lot of fear and stress, which is bonko crazy. Yes. You go to the next slide.
I don't think I remember seeing that one in the thesaurus, but okay.
It's a new word. These are just some other notes that I had that I thought was kind of funny. I love Leon's Jeep. I want his Jeep. Leon is like, there's survivors. It's a big city. And we're like, you just got here. You don't know shit about what's going on. Leon was literally like, well, we're going to go to Raccoon City. There's got to be survivors. It's such a big city. And I'm like, bitch, people are leaving the city. What do you expect? There's not going to be people in the city still alive if they're all trying to leave. In fact, there was one person that was still alive and actually maybe a handful of other people, but that's in the third game you figure it out. Regardless, Leon's kind of a dumb shit in this game, but it's kind of sweet. It's a naive perspective that makes it a lot more fun to play because you're playing kind of a silly character that's like, because when Leon sees a zombie, his character, when he sees a zombie like get up out of nowhere, he goes, what the? And then he shoots at it. Like you can play as him, and he's almost like really calm when he says it because he's going like he's more like what the? And then you're like, huh? And it's like, oh, it's just a zombie. It's not that big of a deal. But he's just like, huh? What is that? He's like, what the hell? And I'm like, it's like, Leon, you've been doing this for the past 20 minutes. How do you not? Are you surprised by every zombie that you see around the corner? You know? It's silly. It is very silly. What's this one? I think I was running out of ammo. I said, oh fuck, you gotta, how am I supposed to? I was like, I can't, I don't know how much ammo I have, 3 bullets, I'm not gonna do very well, I'm just gonna run to the police station, I'm not gonna fuck around. Yeah, I ran into the there was like a big truck that blew up my car. I had to run to the gas station or the police station, and I ran out of bullets because it's like, use this button to shoot. And then I was like, I have 5 bullets,
So-
and then it took more than 5 bullets to kill the zombie.
So,
So.
were you... Now, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Were you intentionally, during this whole playthrough, trying to speak aloud so that you could be taking notes, or do you normally play a video game like this?
The answer is yes to both of those.
Hell yeah.
I'm very talkative when I play games. If I'm like in the zone, I am silent. But if I'm playing for
Lock
the
in
most
on
part, I
Stardew,
do.
but nothing else.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I mean, sometimes you gotta
I-
get serious. Like,
I do talk a lot when I play Stardew Valley too. But normally if I'm alone. If I'm not alone, I'll be quiet because I don't want to bother anybody. But I also was like, I'm going to narrate my experience out loud. I said my thoughts out loud too so that I can at least write it, like have it down so I don't have to pause the game, write it all down, and then keep playing. So it's just easier to just say it out loud. So, yeah. Yeah, some of my classmates did say you should record it and like show gameplay
Stream
from
it
your
on Twitch.
like from your experience. Yeah, totally
Ray
from
Games.
Twitch. No, stop. I don't want a Twitch channel. Go to the next slide. I think there's
I wouldn't watch it. I hate
do you want-
live streams, but it would be
Okay,
funny.
well good to hear that you'd support me
Oh, I have
in
enough
my
cameras in
my
your room.
Twitch
I
streams.
Constant watching.
What?
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 You is that true? You wouldn't be friends with me if it was true. I think this is the last one.
They're
I
like
don't-
poop X6.
Yeah, I was gonna.
yeah. Okay, I'll say this one out loud. Okay. So I'm getting into the puzzle sequences, and this is a weird one because I don't think it actually heard what I said, but I said now we get where the puzzles are, which is pretty cool. So now we have our first salt thing. I don't think that was supposed to say salt, but I can't remember what it was supposed to say. To solve puzzles with, and I know there's a guy in here. I'm gonna just be here. I don't know if there's another guy here. Poop, 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 poop. I'm pretty sure I wasn't saying poop during this part. Shit. I'm getting blocked. I was saying shit, and then it put it to poop for some reason, but it still got shit on there. I'm getting blocked. We're cool. We're so cool. Okay, we're cool. Time to escape crawling. Get your cute little booty up. Come on, you do it. Yeah. And then he gets grabbed, and that did increase my heart rate. What's my heart rate? 94 right now. That's not bad. Marvin explode balloon, dude. I would not lean against that right now, especially if this zombie will come back. So this sequence, Leon is trying to get under a door, and it's like a garage door, but he doesn't go up very high, so he's crawling, and then a zombie grabs his ankle, and Leon's like trying to kick him off.
God,
It's
I
not
thought
working.
you were gonna say he grabs his ass. God,
No, you do get a gnarly ass shot though from this scene from both
Hell
Claire and
yeah.
Leon. It's the exact same scene. They both get right up the crack. It's outstanding. And then Marvin pulls you out, and then he gets the garage door on the zombie head, and then he smashes it. And I think I said that his head pops like a balloon, or explodes like a balloon or whatever. And then he leans on the door, and then he leans back down. And I'm like, don't lean on that when the zombie comes back out. It doesn't. But it's a scene from the beginning. It's seen a lot. A lot of people know about that scene. But I guess like because there was still zombies coming at me and stuff, I knew that once I hit the door I was fine. Even though the cutscene obviously gets you, but the cutscene is still like, oh my god, it's happening. But you know, not as like fear factor heavy because I already know what's gonna happen. But yeah, that one for some reason recorded me saying poop 6 times. I didn't say poop. I said shit. I'm pretty sure. But I guess that good old Christian CIA agent in my phone was like, no, we're not going to swear in this one. We are going to say bad
it's
words.
bad word. Poop, 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 poop. Doesn't really have the same effect to it.
No, it doesn't. Shit makes more sense. Like shit, you know? But yeah. Anyways, you can go to the next slide. Those are all of my quotes that I chose. These are just some other monster comparisons. So this is Nemesis on the left-hand
hello.
side from the films. Yeah, Nemesis on the right-hand side from the remake games. I forgot to put the original one in here, but it
on
looks
my
very similar.
sis till... yeah, no, I don't got anything, sorry.
Me after
That's
drinking
okay.
the McDonald's Sprite.
Yeah, there you
Me
go.
after I go down on my
nemesis till
girl.
McDonald's Sprite.
Did you hear mine?
What? I did not. I think you cut
No, I
out.
said no. Never mind. It's okay.
What did you say?
I said me when I go down on my girl.
Yeah,
Me
that
after I
sound
go
as
down
fun
on
and
my girl.
family friendly, Ray.
Why not? When have we ever been family
This is a
friendly?
good Christian, good PG-13 podcast.
Fuck off.
You were just saying how he had cameras in my room.
I would never.
You
Have cameras
nasty
in both your
boy.
rooms. I'm in your walls.
You nasty. No.
You're both under constant
No.
surveillance.
Fuck. Well, what do you have to say about that?
I'm watching. I'm in your walls.
You have any comments?
No?
No?
No.
What do we do in our rooms, Connor?
That's private.
What do we
I would never
normally
share
do
that.
in our rooms? Okay. The fact that you're being so calm.
A lot of
makes me
doom
too
scroll. A
much.
lot of doom scrolling.
Yeah. Sugar. So yeah, the Nemesis decision to make him look kind of like a weird skinless burn victim in the left-hand side was a choice. It did reflect the original game a little bit more, but the remake game made him look more like mutated Biohazard, which I liked. I liked that a lot about him. He's basically covered in a bunch of garbage bags or whatever. I don't think it's garbage bags, but it's like a compressed garbage bag dress, which honestly, it's like...
I like that he
Great.
has a camelback on his chest.
He does.
It's for he needs his water, you know.
He needs to
does.
needs to
He's
stay
twisty.
hydrated.
He's just a thirsty little
He's very
guy. He
twisty.
needs his
He's a
little
dry guy.
drinky.
Yeah, he can't suck through... Cause he doesn't have
They're
any
called
lips, so,
shy
like-
guys and dry
Yeah.
bones. I think you mix those two up, and it's understandable.
Of course.
Shy,
Um,
maybe you shouldn't be calling them shy bones.
Shy bones. He's shy about his bones. He doesn't want to show you guys his
Me
bones.
when I have erectile dysfunction.
There it is.
Folks will be here all week.
That's really
It's
good.
like-
So Nemesis in the games doesn't really have much of a, personalization to him. He's just an enemy. In the films, Nemesis is built from a character that survives with Alice from the first movie. Nemesis comes in the second film. He is, I believe his name is Jack, I want to say. He is used to basically be the first successful victim from the Nemesis program, is what they call it. Yeah, it's a really interesting decision to kind of make him a little bit more humane, because in the end the Jack kind of gets a little bit more of his consciousness back, and he helps Alice and her friends escape by trying to kill the man that turned him into Nemesis, or at least helped turn him into Nemesis. So I thought that was kind of an interesting decision on Anderson's side, is taking, because this is where he was starting to get more characters from the games. Jill was in it, Carlos was in it, Nemesis was in it. That's kind of it, really. I think Nikolai was in it, who is an enemy, but he dies as soon as he introduces himself, which is hilarious. You can go to the next slide. I also talk about Birkin. The one on the left is from Dark Side Chronicles, whereas the one on the right is from the Resident Evil 2 remake. The one from the movie, because he's not in the Anderson films, he's in the Welcome to Raccoon City, it resembles a lot from the Dark Side Chronicle version of Birkin, which is kind of interesting. I think it should be on, if you click one more time, Connor, you'll kind of see it.
Oh, they didn't even try.
No, it's not on this one. I think it's on the next slide. But anyways,
He
this
gave
is him
up
from
halfway
Welcome to
through
Raccoon
on that
City.
costume.
He really did. It's because he just started mutating is why. Because he gets the mutation, and then he gets killed, and then he comes back, and he's like full-on monster form. But I thought it was kind of an interesting aspect. You can go to the next slide, Connor. That they chose... You can click one more time, actually. Yeah, that they kind of chose more of a similar model from the Dark Side Chronicles, which isn't a very well-known Resident Evil game. Like, it exists, people have played it, but, like, I don't know if most fans would even be familiar with the concept of it. I think it plays around the same time as 2, and then it's just, like, a different perspective, but I can't really remember. So the fact that Roberts, the guy that directed Welcome to Raccoon City, decided to do this model or kind of take more of his own spin on it was interesting, but I don't know. I think it's fine. It's a little over the top with the glowing eyes, but that's kind of the point of Resident Evil. It's a little bit off kilter. It's kind of different and meant to be a little goofy and unrealistic. So while it's more of a like phantom monster than like a gory, scary monster. It's it's a creative choice, which I think could have maybe been thought out more, but it's cool. I think they did a good job in this scene. Could you go back one so that the picture goes away? If you don't mind.
I suppose.
This is the scene. Thank you. This is the main scene comparison I do in my paper, which is the train scene, which I talked about the train scene being an embodiment of what Resident Evil stands for, which is surviving. This is the last hurrah of the survivors who you think will make it to get out of there, and then depending on which film or which game you're playing, they don't make it. Each enemy is similar.
Spoilers.
That's crazy. The Welcome to Raccoon City and the games are very similar. Anderson includes the train scene or the subway scene in the first film, which is actually an interesting adaptation to, like, it's an interesting element to include in the first film adaptation, because you can go into the Umbrella Lab in the first game, but you don't go onto the subway to escape. That's specifically a Resident Evil 2 game thing. So they took elements of the setting and part of the plot into the first film from the first game, and then included little bits in the second game. They did the same thing where they added elements from the third game into the second film. So they just kind of like jumped ahead a little bit and skipped some stuff, which is the whole point of being a formal entity, being a product of reception, is that like you're just kind of doing what you want to do, but it's still recognizable as, oh, this is from this part of the game, this is from when they did this in this game. So it's kind of just like, it's these elements that kind of tie you back to, oh, this is why this is called Resident Evil, which I think is an interesting sort of decision on his part, because I think it worked. The first film
Leon,
did really well.
This is a Resident Evil.
Man, I think these residents, they might be evil. So you can click twice for me. We already saw the train scene from the perspective from Welcome to Raccoon City. This is the subway scene, not train scene, subway scene from the second game, where you can, I like it when Claire finishes the game, because she's cool and I like her. She goes down further into the subway and eventually runs into Birkin, who is fully mutated into a nasty podge of flesh and unlunchable meat. It's nuts. And you just kind of shoot him until eventually you can like break the train and then push him off into the fire that the lab is turning into, because the lab is self-destructing. So the scene itself is basically like, you have one more chance to just fucking go ham and just kill this guy. Like, in this one, you can use a minigun, I think, or minigun, and then you can also, like, grenades. I think you can get, what's Wesker's gun? You just get a lot of powerful guns. You have all your weapons that you've been saving up this whole time. You can use whatever the fuck you want, and you just go ham. In the one Welcome to Raccoon City,
pew.
Leon gets a fucking rocket launcher and shoots it at him, and it's awesome. In Alice's fight with the liquor, it is a lot more tough. Unfortunately, Michelle Rodriguez's character turns to a zombie, so not only have to fight her, they also have to fight the liquor, which they end up using her to kind of help do it. They like shoot her, she hits a button, the trapdoor opens, liquor gets run out. So in the end, things work out. That one is like that one is more of a better example of surviving, because like they do lose people and they do have to think fast and like really go through a sequence of insane events that'll get them to get this liquor off this train, because they are this thing has already been a pain in their ass already, so they're trying to like literally get the fuck away from it. Didn't work, and they're like, well, guess we gotta keep going. So anyways, I think the train scene, the subway scene, was a really good example and a really good finish to not only the games but the movies as well, to kind of have at the end to be like, this is why, like, this is also part of the fear, is that you're not only isolated in this area, you're isolated in more than what you thought was like the area. Like, this was supposed to be your safe spot, and now it's being compromised. So I like that a lot about the Resident Evil games and the films. I think they did a really good job with that. Regardless of how good or bad the adaptations are, I think the adaptations did a great job at embodying the fear. However, the Anderson films are definitely a lot more action film with horror elements, whereas Welcome to Raccoon City was horror film with action elements. Not your typical The Conjuring, sinister, The Shining horror film, but it's an action film. Like, you're equipped with weapons, and it's to show you that even though you have the capability to fight these things, you're not always going to live. And even if you're a professional, doesn't mean you're going to be the one to survive at the end. So it's kind of it's a cool concept. I think that I like that it's being adapted onto screen, and I like the way that Roberts did it, which was a more recent adaptation. I like the way he did it. It's a shame that he's not going to get a sequel, but I think he did it justice. So that's my personal take on it, though. You guys could watch the films and like maybe talk about it with me. That'd be kind of sick because you forced me to watch Star Wars. But whatever.
I mean, if you catch me,
I can run
you
fast.
can try.
Sorry, I don't
Fair
watch
enough.
films with women in them.
I just don't watch films.
What about Star Wars?
No women in that.
Not the third one. Leia's born in it.
There's-
She's in the last like
Hold on.
the last 5 minutes. Connor's
I
like,
know,
no.
I'm kidding.
Hold on. Thinking,
You know,
thinking,
Padme?
thinking.
Padme doesn't she doesn't count.
Alright. Right before you
I
went on your
don't know if any mainline Star Wars movie passes the Bechdel test, which is
you're
two
gonna hate-
women,
You're gonna hate me on this one.
which requires like
I think
two women talking to each other, not about a guy.
I'm pretty
Is that right?
sure. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure Episode 9 passes it because Leia and Rey talk about the Force. Literally the worst one.
That's true.
That is
Rogue
That's
One
the
may also pass.
Only one.
Rogue
when?
One, I don't. There's men in the room,
guess
but I'm pretty sure Mon Mothma
Jin and Mon Mothma meet
Jin talk
face to
about the Death
face.
Star. Yeah,
Cool. We got 2 out of what, 10 so far.
yeah. I think yeah.
Han Solo doesn't.
No, Han Solo definitely doesn't count. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. You heard it here first, folks. Star Wars hates women.
Yeah.
I feel like
What?
this isn't new.
No.
No, there's lots
George
of cool women.
Lucas
characters in
would
Star
never.
Wars.
George, he's such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
George is so nice.
Look at Watto.
He
What
put
does he
Leia
mean by
in.
this?
He put Leia in that bikini because she wanted to.
Yeah. He didn't make Leia wear or Carrie Fisher wear a bra for all of A New Hope for lore purposes.
Yeah.
Not for any weird reasons.
Wild. Not low.
Oh, God.
No, he's a totally normal man. And not a little weird about his decision on race and
You write this shit,
stereotyping.
George, but you can't say it. Quote from Harrison Ford to
Yeah, I
George
was literally
Lucas
gonna
about
say.
the script for the first
Yeah.
movie.
Look at the Trade Federation. They're not saying anything.
Or fucking...
Guess I
I mean,
Look at
dude,
Watto.
let's...
Look at
Speaking
Ben
of racism,
Quattrone.
Resident Evil.
Right before you went on your little thesis statement there, Ray, you kind of cut
Yeah.
out right at the start for me. So after
Oh.
you'd gone through on all that kind of explaining, all I heard
Uh-huh.
was, yeah, so I think the trade scene's pretty good. And then it just stopped for like 5 seconds.
Oh no.
And then you kept
hopefully
going.
they were-
But yeah, it'll pick up on your end. It's just
Okay. I
my
hope
internet's
so.
been kind of on and off a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just
We'll
you
hope
went.
that
You
it-
explained for like 15 minutes
That's really
about
funny.
the trade scene, and then at the end it was just like, yeah, I think it's pretty good. Before you did your actual thesis
really
statement,
I think the train scene's really
I
good.
think it's pretty cool.
10 minutes of silence. I think it's pretty cool.
I like the big
Honestly,
monster.
if it is, just leave it.
No,
if it
it'll
actually
come
did
through
record-
fine on your end.
Ah,
I pieced
okay,
together
that's
what
really
you were saying. It's very
Okay,
very good.
that'd be
It's
so funny.
just kinda
if it just
funny.
was like, I think it's cool.
This looks pretty neat. I like Resident
I
Evil.
like the train scene.
I like
I like
all-
Resident Evil.
I like Leon.
I like video games. I like Leon. I like Claire. She's cool. I like
She
guns.
is cool.
Yeah. Anyways, that's
Pew,
that's
pew,
my
pew.
presentation. I'm pretty sure that's the last slide. Oh, just
You
kidding.
got one. There you go.
Also the
That's my
SM
last.
said.
No, it's the guy that plays Birkin. I just thought it was a funny phone.
Is it?
number. Yeah, it's the guy that played Birkin in the. He's the one that you said that the costume department got half done or whatever.
Oh yeah, okay. He looks
Yeah.
like Kelsey Grammer, but discount.
He does. I know exactly what you're talking about. There is another guy who.
Yeah, don't I know this guy? Who is this actor?
Kelsey
He's in
Grammer.
a
Fraser.
It's Kelsey Grammer.
Transformers
There's
4.
this Oedipus Rex. There's a British film play version of Oedipus Rex that was done in the 80s, I want to say, or something. And the guy that plays Oedipus looks like Kelsey Grammer, but just British. Just a little bit more British.
What's this actor's name?
Let
Or
me
which-
check here.
I can figure it out. I'm curious if I know him from someone else or if I'm just thinking he looks
I
like
know him from something else. I can't
Neil
place it.
McDonough.
Neil
Neil McDonough.
McDonough.
Wasn't he
His,
in Star
his
Wars?
smile is very
Is he in Star
strange.
Wars?
He looks like he
Okay,
would be in
let's
Star
go
Wars.
through this. The Last Rodeo, Homestead, Yellowstone, Walking
Lots
Tall,
of
Tulsa King.
cowboy stuff.
Yeah, The Shift, Band of Brothers. That's just pretty good.
Captain
Desperate
America.
Housewives.
the
Captain
Super
America?
Yeah,
Soldier.
Captain America. Apparently, I think he's. Oh, he might be one of the. Is he Dum Dum Dugan? He might be Dum Dum Dugan.
Huh?
Let's see. Stanley Tucci's in the first
He's
Avenger?
the old man. He's also in Transformers.
Oh, I
4.
recognize him from the Flash.
Yeah, he's Dum Dum Dugan. You're right, Connor.
The CW Flash. That's where he was. He was quite a
Wait, I was right.
substantial
This guy is.
antagonist in
This
that
guy
show.
is Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, wow. Aren't I good at movies? Oh, yeah, there he is.
You
He
are
was-
good at movies.
I found it. It was taking a second to load. What else is he in? Yeah, okay, The Flash.
He's been on
Which I've never
Natalie
seen. Paul
Darwin's
Blart Mall
Halloween,
Cop 2.
whereas in
Yeah, Paul
person-
Blart Mall
Major
Cop 2,
Bennington in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Minority Report.
He's in Sonic the Hedgehog?
Apparently he's Major Bennington.
Major Bennington.
What?
I don't know who that is.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, is he the Olive Garden guy?
Oh.
What do you mean the Olive
Oh?
Garden guy? He's in Skylander Superchargers. He's
No,
Astro
he's not.
Ooh.
He's not the Olive Garden
I love
guy.
Skylanders.
He's the guy.
He's
at
in
the-
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Major Bennington.
He's just the guy that Jim Carrey yells at on like the military field.
Oh, you're right! Damn! He has more than like 4 lines. He's like a...
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't.
there.
He doesn't say very much though.
as
They're
well. He's a
lit.
character from Sonic,
I'm
by
pretty.
the way.
Is he? I don't believe in Sonic.
Yeah.
He's in the first Injustice game as the Flash, Nightwing, and Regime Soldier number 2.
Huh. Regime
We're just
Soldier
getting a
number 2 is my favorite DC character. I loved those comics.
What?
He's in
I was
Dum Dum.
listening.
He's Dum Dum Dugan in a Captain America video game as well,
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah. Presumably he's also in.
which
the-
looks like it was a movie
Carter
tie-in
show.
video game. For
Yeah,
the-
I think it
for
is.
the 2011 one.
He's probably also in the Agent Carter show, which I've never seen. Apparently, he's pretty
He
good.
was
though.
also the. He was also like an animated Green Arrow.
Huh, okay.
He's a little well versed in the...
This is a big Neil. I'm a real big Neil McDonough head. Did I find his
We've
name?
Apparently.
learned so much.
Apparently. Wild.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it a
I'm glad
movie
that we
called
had a...
They call him Sasquatch.
Alright.
He's in the X-Files.
That's what they called me
He's
back
in
in
Band
college.
of Brothers.
Band of Brothers is good. You would like that show, Ethan. It's very good.
I know.
Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
If he was a cook. Wild.
What?
Got him. All right. Nothing.
Star Trek First Contact, a Star Trek
Uh,
that's so like vague that I've never heard of it until this very
You
moment.
never heard of First Contact?
I haven't seen any Star
I wasn't
Trek.
there.
I think I've seen that one for sure. I couldn't tell you what happens in that one though, but I know I've seen it. I've seen most of them.
His first appearance appears to be in a movie called Dark Man, where he was dock worker number 2.
I don't know what that is.
More like docs.
He's also a producer now.
Good for him. This might be the most specific tangent we've ever gone on. And we've done some
yeah, a
pretty
little bit.
One
specific
actor.
Hey,
tangents.
not complaining. Not complaining at all. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for going down this rabbit hole with me. It was a bit scattered. It's been a
Hey,
while since I've read
it
this
was
paper,
fun.
so I had to just kind of remember. But yeah.
What the hell
That's
was
my
I
paper.
doing? Yeah.
Good job, Ray. What did we learn, Ethan?
What did you guys learn?
Very
important lesson.
I learned that Resident Evil is a scary video game.
I was
and
gonna say
that-
the same thing.
Oh, god damn it. Fuck, man. I gotta do my presentation over again. The lesson didn't
No,
stick.
I think you did a really good job. I think Resident Evil is a scary video game.
I think it's kinda
and
spooky.
That video games are, especially in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to like movies, have a very interesting and nuanced way of like having their audience experience the horror. It's and it's very specific from other art mediums, and it makes games special and something to be cherished.
Interesting.
It sucks though that all you see today is violence in movies and sex on TV though.
Dude,
What
shut
are
up.
those
I'm
good
gonna stop my
old-fashioned
recording
values?
right now.
I don't know what that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Thank you for getting that immediately. Before I even
Okay.
finished saying it. I'm so tired.
Yeah, we can. That's okay. We can cut it here. Thank you everybody for listening, and thank you guys for listening to my presentation. This is episode 23 of Don't Even Get Me Started. We're back, baby. We're so fucking back.
Like how
Hopefully
you-
I'm
we'll
so fucking back. Connor, hey, what's
Hope-
the next episode on?
Bionicles.
again.
We're so fucking back.
We are so back. At what cost? Okay.
Thank you.
I like how you
thank
switched
so
into
much
like
for
a radio
listening.
voice, Ray.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you for
Thank you for listening.
tuning in to this channel. We'll
Thank you for listening to
Ray
Don't Even Get Me
has
Started.
got
art.
you
Yeah.
every night.
Connor has a YouTube channel.
Yes, Transformers video coming.
And he has he does as a photography Instagram. I
I do,
also have
yes.
a photography Instagram.
Gallery Grams.
You
So
do.
yeah, we'll be linked.
They'll be linked down
yeah.
below. I will bring those photos if Jill Valentine isn't in this presentation, then you can verbally harass me on Twitter and I consent to this.
Yep.
If you can find it. All right, we should finish.
Also, haven't you like logged off of Twitter almost permanently?
No, it's uninstalled on my phone. It does automatically when I don't use it
I'm
for a
so
certain amount of
proud
time.
of you.
You can always tell when Ray goes on because it gets flooded with just
But-
notifications.
The only sad thing is that I don't get my daily meme from Ethan.
God damn.
That's true. There was a backlog. In
We
there
got
from,
him.
Like,
We got a slur in there.
I guess the first one for this episode.
That is the first
it
one for this
is,
episode.
and
yeah.
you're gonna forget to bleep it because it's all at the end. Ha, idiot, get fucked. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, see you next episode. Bye bye.
See you next episode.
All right, let's let Ethan go to bed now before he kills us.